Yoshikidneo, and we're back in the world of Boridil with our heroic adventurers after they have gotten out of the spider's den.
Voice changer.
Is it free?
It is free.
No harm to the
Yeah,
clownfish.
the one that he's got is free. The one Reed uses, I think you can get a cracked version.
Yeah, I got a cracked version.
Yeah.
Wait, are you still using the Beast Killer audio or something? Or no?
I'm gonna go with no.
No, like, because we bought one. We all cracked one like 3 years ago. But that was...
Save that one for an amazing villain.
Right.
Oh, sweet.
Normal black guy.
How is it compared to that one voice I can
The
make?
bad guy in the mask.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
coming
there
in.
you go. That's how Oizix talks, I've decided. All the way down at 7.
All the
Do
way
I
down
sound
to
different now?
7.5.
You sound the same right now.
I sound the same? Fuck, dude. I'll figure it out as we play, probably. But
Okay.
There's also a plugin for hotkeys to change your voices too.
oh, nice.
Just
How does this sound?
creepy
Oh,
as
wow,
fuck.
yeah.
That was creepy.
I like it though. So my left alt should do it. I think it turns it on. Yeah? No?
Okay, I'm logging in. I'm gonna get my drink.
All right.
So a good creepy.
Yeah, I'd say a good creepy. You almost sound like a stormtrooper, but a creepy
Yeah, but a little...
stormtrooper.
A sick stormtrooper. I got the sniffles this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of muffled or electronic sounding.
Set the voice. Oh shit! Here it is. Neat.
Did you find the plugin?
No. Do I sound like
Oh.
an alien?
No.
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 I sound like a normal dude?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm asking if alien.
Are you?
There
Which
you
one
go.
are you using, Brady?
You sound like it's
There we
just
go.
backwards.
Yeah. It actually changes your language. It really messes with your.
Oh, so you guys were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I
I'll
think
have
that's
to-
this one that you want.
Yeah, that one.
That's
looks
what's already.
good. Where do you set the setup?
Oh, this
Is
is...
it the hotkeys?
Yeah, push to talk hockey.
Push to hot.
There's a plugin though, and you can just set the hotkey, and as long as the plugin is open, it'll do it for you.
You have to download it from their website, the plugin?
Yeah, but it's like
Okay.
50 kilobytes.
Well, yeah.
Freaking tiny.
Anyway, let us get into what happened last time. Emotep, you're here, right?
Oh, he left.
Martin,
He's-
what did we do last time?
Oh no, he is here. He's lighting up.
Good news, everyone. Only 2 of my 6 plates were broken.
Nice. Speaking of plates being broken, Martin, what did we do last time?
That has no correlation with what we did last.
You would.
So what we did last time, we went into the sewers.
Okay, I can't take you seriously.
Why can't you take me seriously?
Because you sound like a child.
Alvin!
Right?
Oh, is the thing
Christmas
on?
Yeah, the thing's
time
on.
is here.
The fuck? I turned it off.
No, you didn't.
I turned it off.
Oh my. Christmas time is here.
Say what? Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, so my buddy Davis and April, they're in California, and we watch their dogs when they're out of town. And they what? Yeah. So they're good dogs. They're just super needy. They are very needy dogs. But yeah, her name's Leela. So if you want to call her over, you can pick her up.
Am I normal again?
Oh, she's the little wiener
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank
she's
God.
a
You're
little
a
wiener
wiener
dog.
dog.
She's a little sausage.
The other one's Sasha. She's a little fat porker.
So
Anyway.
cute.
There we go, Martin.
She is, but
So what we did last time. I didn't even know. I thought just exiting the app would just turn it off.
No.
Okay.
That's why you got.
We get the push to talk.
Yeah. We went into the sewers, and then we went even further beyond into the cold underground, but it was so cold we decided, nah, fam, we're not gonna do that. And we got some robes and shit. And then we went back into the sewers. We found this fucking building, and we're like, oh, hey, a building. We should do stuff with it. And so we went inside. We're like, oh man, it's so dark in here. So we went around, felt around a little bit. My character was fine, whatever. But like literally everyone else except for Adeline, they're like, phew, can't see shit. But anyway, my character decided it was a good idea to harvest some silk, which caused some small spiders to appear. And then we killed them because none of us like spiders. Then that caused some big spiders to appear, and then those almost killed. I have a kill count. Hold on. Dario like 4 times, I think.
Fun.
Yep, sounds about right.
And they were like, "Oh man, oh, that was hard. We should leave." But then my character saw a bunch of other spiders back toward where the entrance was. So he was like, "Oh, maybe this isn't a great idea." So we went toward the thing in the middle, or toward the north of where we were, and it was a big like castle light thing. And then we saw some big bads, and then another thing, and then we were like, ah, shit. So my character turned everyone invisible, and we ran the fuck out of there after obtaining help from a certain person that I can't remember the name of. But she was magical, so it was great. Oh, and Adeline got fucked.
By a spider, technically.
By a spider.
No one got actually
The spider was inside of him and released
That's debatable.
literally her egg. So Adeline.
There was
That was my
there was
first D&D sex
penetration.
was with a
Yeah.
spider. So
there was penetration, but with spider fangs, it's different. Nothing
Oral?
sexual that you.
So it's like
know
an
of.
alien kind of thing?
I'm impregnated, so
Yeah, kinda
I
just
can
like
I can
that.
debate that all day.
I think he got laid. But anyway,
Laid with eggs.
this is
Yeah.
true. He was not awake for consent.
Correct.
He got the shit beat out of him, and then impregnated. Oh, and he was frozen, and yep, a whole bunch of almost dying happened. We skate back up to the thing, and now we're like, holy shit, what do we do with Adeline? And the entire city of spiders below Cragstorms.
And that's where you leave off.
So
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
and we were going to go like talk to the people about, hey, we need to excavate the city. What were they called? Casero and Martillo. There we go.
Yeah. So where you left off, you guys had met. Well, during your little excursion underground, Oswald had used his whistle in order to send a quick message to Amiria, the Grand Wizard of Cragstorm, also Nishan's mentor and master. After a couple moments, you noticed that it took a little while for the light to reach Oswald while he was invisible. But luckily, he was invisible because it confused the spiders. They didn't know what really was going on. But he wrote a message saying, "Spiders underground, entrance to the sewer. Send help. We're in trouble." Something like that, along those lines. It took a little while before Amiria had shown up. Shadow, you were given a wand of fireballs from her to use while she set up a teleportation circle in order to save your friend Adeline, who was encased in ice on the middle of the bridge leading to this underground location. The spiders were setting up a trap, but you guys were able to kind of see through it. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but you didn't spring the trap by any means. And you guys were all able to escape via teleportation circle from Amiria, and you guys are currently in her wizard tower. She has wrote out a note and signed that is meant to go to Lord Martillo and Lord Casero. while she goes to talk to Lord Barton herself about what you guys heard from the underground, coming from Nagex herself, that there is an apparent siege on Cragstorm that is imminent. So you guys have your notes. She gave Oswald the note for Lord Martillo. Who is going to take the note for Lord Casero?
Shadow will.
Alright, so Amiria comes over and she hands you this letter. Shadow, that wand, you may use it for the time being. I feel like it is of great use to you right now. But in the future, I may ask for it back, okay?
Okay.
Other than that, I need to hurry up and find Nishan real quick before he heads back to the sewers and you guys aren't there. So if you'll excuse me, I will be on my way.
What time of day is it?
That's a good question.
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good to hear. I think, let's see, you guys started out the morning going downstairs, so it's probably like 11 in the morning.
Okay.
Does that mean we slept, or is this?
Yeah, you guys had a long rest, not
Oh,
since you
okay.
left though. So whatever HP you are at right now,
Oh,
which
okay.
I believe
Yep.
is like
6.
yeah, you're at 6. Any spell
Okay.
slots you guys have used or not? You haven't completed a long rest, and it's gonna be a while before you do get to complete one. So, because it is
First,
early
use
morning.
my spell slots.
I would. Go on.
Go for it.
I would like to go if the wizard and everyone else is busy, and if Oswald and Shadow are going the separate ways to deliver messages. I want to go back to town.
You are in town.
I want to go to find Firo.
Okay. So I believe you guys are splitting the party. So who's going with Oswald? Who's going with Shadow? And who is going elsewhere?
I feel like I should be by the wizard lady who's been studying the spiders.
Amiria?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Uh,
my neck.
I can go with whoever. I guess I'll go with Shadow so we can have some comedic banter.
Yes, I love comedic banter.
Jeff, you're gonna go look for Firo?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And then I guess Oswald's on his own. So Amiria starts to walk out of the door. She doesn't seem to want or have thought about taking Adeline with her at this point. If Adeline wants to
Oh
interject.
yeah, I had stuff written out for. Damn it.
Wait, she doesn't want me to follow her?
Well, she didn't ask for you or anything, so if your intent is to follow her, you should make it clear.
Well, I'm gonna do the creepy Adeline thing and just kind of follow her.
Okay. That works. That's what I would. Adeline doesn't talk much.
Brady,
Oh,
What's up?
I kind of forget. So Ekka's character is playing with us right now, right? Or
Correct.
her
Yeah,
own.
Rachel's
Okay.
here.
So Rachel. Hello. So she's still at the tavern, correct?
Recovering.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Just asking.
Also, I can hear you guys, but I'm unpacking my microwave so I can eat something. So if you need something from me, just yell my name as loud as possible.
No, yeah, you're good, dude.
That's probably not gonna happen, but okay.
So Amiria walks out of her tower door. She leaves it open because she is expecting you guys to all pretty much follow her. She doesn't want you to just hang out in her tower. I will dismiss you all from the main entryway downstairs. If you would follow me, please.
Following.
Okay. I assume Dario is going to just be following Shadow everywhere right now.
That's
So
what
Shadow
I would
will
assume too.
lead him outside of wherever it is.
So she gets to
Leading.
the bottom of the stairs, and she gestures to the door and says, once you guys have found out if the two families are on our side, do come back. But have it be more towards the evening so I can do my work today undisturbed, please. Other
Sounds
than that, safe travels and stay out of trouble, would you?
Question.
Yes.
How would we get back in here exactly?
At this point, the
permission-wise?
gods would understand that you are working with me. So they recognize your faces at this point. So definitely don't cause any trouble to where you wouldn't be
course not,
allowed
of
into
course
the
not.
palace.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
I don't know why you're. I don't think you ever took any damage, Martin.
No, I took damage. I know I took damage. That's why I'm confused. Like, I know you.
I didn't change
I know you
anyone.
keep track by using the middle thing, but
Oh, you know what? That might be why it's different.
Yeah, because I had to set up a separate one so I could keep track myself, because my
Hold on,
HP never actually went down.
I'll tell you how much HP you have right now. Then, you've taken 36 hit points, so you
Okay.
have
20.
There you go.
Nice.
How much damage have I taken?
You have taken 61 damage.
Alright.
Yeah.
Dario 53.
He's taking a lot more
And
damage than that.
Jeff is at 39. Adeline, yeah, you're at 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess that's the only bad thing about transitioning. I guess so when we transition, we'll
Resets your HP.
Yeah, we'll not reset it, but we'll
Well,
actually
we don't have our
set it
tokens
the
to
max.
click on.
Yeah.
So you'll have to do it on your character sheet. I guess
Okay.
I could use the temp hit points, maybe, to like depict that so you know how much you've taken. We'll figure it out in the future. Anyway.
I've
Yeah.
set up one of the little squares on the right side of just HP for me to keep track, so that I can keep track as well.
The
That
other
works.
resources, then, basically.
Yeah, because you can add as many resources as you want. So, but yeah, Emiria gestures to the door and watches as you guys all exit, except for Adeline. She looks at you,
Does she
Adeline.
notice me?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because she was waiting for everyone to leave, so you guys don't just like start walking around the palace on your own. Can I help you?
I'll point at my neck. I have problem.
Oh, did you receive that underground?
Yes, spider lady. I don't really know details.
Actually, yes, your presence might help persuade Lord Barton to our side, so if you would please follow me. And then she starts to walk towards the other side of the entrance to a pretty like large door that you would assume probably leads to a throne room, but we'll get to that later. The rest of the party starts to exit out the gate. You see the guards open up a small gate that's meant for, people your size. And as you walk outside, about 20 feet or so in front of the gate, you see your friend Akta. And she is currently talking with a half-elf woman that you guys have never seen. Kirsten, if you could introduce what your character looks like.
Okay. Oh wait, I lost my thing. Hold on one sec. Alright, so my character has white hair. She's female. Has light white skin that almost looks kind of blue in certain lights. She has icy blue eyes. She's about 5'8" and has blue tattoos kind of all over her face. And she's wearing a mask, just like resting on the top of her head. And she's wearing clothes that are kind of meant for more warmth. So she looks kind of bundled up, even though it's down in the south. And I think that's it for now, unless there was something else you wanted me to talk about, Brady.
I get the picture.
So at this point, you guys would see Okta and the new character talking with each other. You guys go ahead and do your thing.
Demi, thank you so much for that potion. I feel so much better.
You are very welcome. I'm glad I was able to just help.
Where were you from again?
I'm from the north, from the 10 tribes, in, what is it called?
Icewind Dale.
In Frostburn Tundra.
And what brings you here?
I am here looking for a potion. My tribal elders heard of a potion that turned people to animals, and they were hoping to use this potion to help protect the tribes from any kind of beasts and monsters.
Wait. Tell me more about this potion. What does it do to people?
At this point, all we've heard are rumors. So we've just heard that it turns, or it seems that it gives normal humans the ability to turn into animals.
So that makes me really nervous. You rescued me. You didn't rescue me, you helped me get better. But I think I came in contact with that potion, and it doesn't really make people animals. It just makes them awful.
Oh.
They lose all humanity.
Oh dear.
We hear this, right?
Yeah, you guys, everyone but Adeline is hearing all this conversation. At this point, like when you guys walked out of the gate, you guys started to walk towards your friend because she's walking around and she seems like she's doing a lot better. And then you guys are kind of just listening in on this conversation that they're having.
Well, my character would have, with the sense of urgency, would have like started walking by, but when he hears the potion, that catches his attention.
Yes.
I would also go.
Ditto, because this is directly relevant to things that happened to Dari.
Yeah, so now you guys are all kind of crowded around, and you're just watching the exchange of words between these two characters.
Does
like to
Acta
say-
actually realize that they're around now?
Yeah, you guys would obviously see. Octa specifically would be like, "Oh, my friends are here."
Who are these people?
Yeah. My friends, and then
Finally, they're my
some
friends.
bald, dark-skinned gentleman
I don't know who
with
that guy is.
toned muscles.
For Dario,
Okay,
no one knows
you're right.
Dario.
Also, all bloody, etc. At the same
Yeah,
time.
everyone seems like they've seen some
Beat to
rough
shit.
days.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for them.
But yeah, anyway,
Does this work, by the way, now?
Oh god.
Yeah, but that's a little too high.
okay, cool. I just wanted to see if it worked. But yeah.
And
you
Oh
guys do
yeah.
your thing.
So, what did you just say you needed this potion for?
my tribal elders, they heard of a potion and they sent me down here to look more into it. We've been having issues with a lack of druids up in the north, and so we need more druids to help protect the tribes. And so this, from what they heard from the rumors, my elders believed that this potion would turn people into animals, but still maintain their faculties, and be able to have these animals help protect the tribe. And then, once the beasts are defeated, then they would be able to turn back into the humans that they once were. But it seems, based off of what Octa said, that's not the case. They turn mad.
Certainly not the case.
Oh,
So,
dear.
since you're all here, I might as well tell you what happened. I was jumped by like a team of people. I don't even know who it was, but they threw a bag over my head, knocked me out, and then I woke up and was forced to fight these. This human would take the potion and they'd get all crazy, and it was fun for a while, but they didn't let me rest, and it was pretty bad.
We
I
found
find-
you. We found you in the sewers. Is that where you were? That's where you were being kept the entire time. So they were just making you fight repetitively, over and over again.
Repetitively, over
Did-
and over. It was
Did they
awful.
make you take the potion or no?
No, I just fought the people that took the potion.
Okay. Well, we
Hey,
did
Leaf.
find the alchemist that was making the potion, but we sort of ended up killing him, and we also destroyed the batch of potion he was brewing. At the
But
same
did you
time,
find out why he was brewing it?
he was just he got this potion from this group of wizards. We read his notes. We took his notes. These individuals, mysterious individuals that gave him this base brew, they didn't really explain what it was or how to make it, but he was experimenting with it, and it did indeed turn people into beasts, but they slowly lost their minds, and they lost the ability to control themselves, and they weren't able to turn back into fully human anymore. They were still like in between.
These wizards sound like bad dudes too.
I looked at Oswald. Did you take notes or as well, or was it just me?
No, I took both their books.
Okay, well, I have the notes here if you want to read them real fast.
313 for the follow. I got a follower.
Hold up. These potions are too dangerous. Whatever your druid order wants to find, it would need to be some other means for those who consume these potions gave in to bestial rage and wanted to do nothing but slaughter and kill.
Agreed. My tribal elders just wanted guardians, not to turn our people into mad creatures.
Do they know how to study potions?
We do have, so I am part of the Circle of the Spirit Lords, and we do have some who study potions and maintain our archives and spell books. So, unfortunately, I am not one of those, but we do have them up in the north.
Well, as your character says this, Oswald pulls out 2 vials. One of them only has like a couple drops in it. This one is one of the potions that they consumed, though there's not much sample left in here. The second vial is full of you said it was dark brown liquid, Brady?
Yeah, that's from the cauldron that you guys had found that Shadow had definitely ruined. So it's just like, more than likely, it's like 5 or 10 potions, somewhere in that range. And it's
By the
just
way,
all mixed together.
you're on if you don't realize it.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
You
See?
sound
See?
like you sound just like Kronk's little devil on his shoulder in Emperor's New Groove.
Retribution.
Do I sound
Right?
better?
Yeah.
You sounded just like
The
Kronk.
Kronk little angel
Alright.
devil scene.
Yeah.
Kronk's little angel and devil on their shoulders in
That's-
Emperor's New Groove.
Look what I can do.
Actually.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then, though this potion is full, apparently it was a mixture of a bunch of potions together, and it ruined whatever concoction the alchemist was trying to make.
Yes, we did that fast while trying to rescue you. We wanted to stop the alchemist's plans.
Though the chemicals involved may still be in here and maybe perhaps be able to be experimented with and separated, though I am not an alchemist, so I do not know. And does anyone have an extra vial?
I do.
Shadow has several extra vials.
Do you mind if I have one?
You see Shadow pondered this for a second. Okay. Hands you an extra vial from the bag.
I'll pour, I guess, like a fifth of the bottle, should be a good enough sample size, into this vial, and I'll hand it to her.
Thank you. I'll get it up to my my circle up in the north and see if they might be able to study it.
If anything, though they are looking to make guardians, I think a cure would be the first thing that should probably be looked into.
Okay.
I'd like to turn to Akka and express my surprise and say I didn't expect you to be up and about so soon. You look pretty damaged back in the after we rescued you.
I'm still pretty tired, but Demi gave me a potion that made it a lot better.
Oh, well, glad to see you're okay. And who is this? We didn't probably get introduced.
Yeah, my apologies. Thank you for the sample, but my name is Demi Flint. And who are you guys? Please introduce yourselves.
I am GF. My name is GF. You see like a wizard, like 5'9", middle age, like early 30s, 160, 78 pounds, 160, 70 pounds. So, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
I still there? I should be, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Dario. I am yay tall. No, I'm just kidding. I am 5'5", last I checked. I am built like a
Truck.
Brick house?
Yep,
No.
like a truck. And I have seen God multiple times over the last couple of weeks.
That's very true. That's very true.
I lean over and whisper, he keeps having near-death experiences.
Well, I would love to hear those stories sometime.
I as well, perhaps over a pint of ale.
Sure. I'm done. Next.
Yeah.
I say that in character, by the way.
The name's Oswald. The name is Oswald, though I hate to keep this short, but time is of the essence. I need to deliver this letter to the Martillos.
Yes,
As he says that, he begins to walk in that direction to the Martillos, and that he's kind of, I don't know if you have the Roll20 app up, but the picture under Mitchell R, kind of imagine him looking like that, but he's wearing mithril plate armor. He's around 5'11", and he's got runes inscribed on his armor, his weapons. You see lots of runes on this character.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you, Oswald.
You as well, and as he's walking away.
So what's our next move, everyone?
Well, Oswald, as you can see, has to go deliver a message. Then our other fellow feline friend here, gesture towards the Tabaxi. I don't think you've met her yet.
No.
And I motion to Shadow to with my hand, to introduce herself.
Ah! Oh.
Hairball?
Hello, Shadow's name is Shadow. Nice to meet you. You look weird. Shadow is, your height, I think? You said 5'8", didn't you?
Yeah, she's 5'8".
No, we're both 5'8". You see this small of frame to so tiny.
I got you, hold on.
Yes. You see that that
She
Tabaxi,
destroys half
but
of the-
currently the cloak is a light gray or something.
I believe that's what you changed it, yes.
Well, you look weird too. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't think Okta and Shadow have been super introduced.
Oh, Akka, this is
No,
our
actually.
this is our friend Shadow. She helped us out after you got kidnapped in the city. She
Shadow saw you in very compromising situation and got you out of there.
Well, anyone who's a friend to my friends, I would think I can trust at least for a little while.
Don't forget.
You cut out. I couldn't hear that.
Don't forget the age.
Oh, and Shadow is very, very young.
We have a prepubescent child with us.
Shadow has been very, very useful.
It was a shock. She's I think 15 or so.
14.
14 or so.
And how did Shadow come to join our party?
Shadow has been doing various work for various people, doing various odd jobs. Perhaps later Shadow will talk about it, but Shadow just found herself in Cragstorm and started tailing you for fun. And then Jeff did some weird shit and killed a bunch of bandits, and
Normal for him.
Shadow decided to hide in your cart. And speaking of which, where is that cart anyway?
You guys have left it at the tavern for the past 8 days.
Hopefully it's still there. We just come back all the wheels are gone.
Every time you guys leave, it's still in one piece. No one has a reason to take your cart because you guys don't actually have anything in it.
There's no medieval chop shops.
We're wealthy.
Y'all have a cart, but you've never put shit in it. You've never, like.
We have horses, don't we?
Yeah, you got horses, and they've been in the stables. Who knows what that tab's gonna be?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wait, we walk everywhere and we have a horse and cart?
Well, we're in town. Anyway, Shadow's good at being subtle.
Alright. You seem pretty useful. Nice to meet you.
Shadow extends a hand. Shadow has seen very many people do this custom.
Octa grabs it real hard and shakes it really fast.
Okay. Shadow's not used to people being so aggressive with it.
Octa's really aggressive.
And it is a very firm handshake. Your feline grace kind of winces a little bit at her strength.
You have quite grip. Let go.
You take
please.
one each.
Please. Please. Let go.
Alright, she lets go.
Thank you. And Shadow just like massages
Your
her
girl's really
hand for a
soft.
few seconds.
It's at this point that Oswald has turned the corner and is definitely out of sight from you guys.
Oh, speaking of which, Shadow has job to do, and she grabs Dario and heads back over to wherever the Caseros live.
Off to another World War adventure.
Where does Adeline go? Is he still with us?
Adeline is. You guys noticed that Adeline didn't follow you.
Yeah.
But Adeline is still in the palace.
So it's just me and
It's
Rachel.
you, Octa, and Demi.
Okay. Well, I look towards them and say, I need to catch you guys up to speed. There's been quite a few things that happened since you've been gone, Octa. So after we got entrance into the city, we met up with this man called Firo, and I started doing odd jobs for him in town to try to gain some information to learn more about the city. So in town, there's a royal family, the Bartons. There's also the Casero and Martello family. I met this man called Firo. He was working for the Casero family, right?
Martillo
family, and he told me to do an odd job. Did a few more, and we got in good with them. And apparently there's been a feud with the Martellos and Caseros, and we've been trying to stop that as much as possible. There's been reports of children being kidnapped and taken from the orphanage, and also there's been sightings of, were beasts, primarily from this potion this alchemist was making.
That's who I was kidnapped by. It was a team of werebeasts.
Okay. Yes, we fought a bunch of them in a tavern, and one of the odd jobs by Firo was to deliver a bomb to the alchemist shop, because he did not like how people were being turned into, monsters. And then didn't know I was signing up to be a terrorist, but turns out the bomb didn't kill him, and the man, the alchemist, he could actually shapeshift into like a rat, so he got away. And we, the night of when the feud was going to go down, the city was going to be in an uproar, we tried to gain as much information as possible, so we went down into the sewers below the spot where his house was destroyed, and we found you that night.
Okay.
Then we brought you back to the tavern, and then the next day we heard more sightings of beast attacks. We followed it into the sewers. We followed a bloody trail. We went deeper and deeper, and then we found this ancient-looking ice cave. And eventually we found this spider queen down there, and this other dark figure that is dealing with this spider queen, and she was talking about how she's going to aid her in overthrowing the city. And the spiders down there are no joke. We almost died. I almost got one shot just in a few moments of being in combat with one. But so my plan right now, I'm not sure what you two plan to do. I'm going back to talk to Firo and inform them what's going to be happening and informing the rest of the town. Because these two are telling heads of both families and trying to get them on the same page so we can fight this upcoming battle of the spiders coming from up from the deep because they're way below the city, and this other dark figure coming in, attacking the city from the outside. So we have to hurry because the city's in grave danger.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I might as well learn as much as I can. I think I should head on with you. What do you think, Demi?
Okay.
I think I will head to the market square to meet with my team and get them the sample and send them out to go back to the north so that my circle can start studying it.
Okay, so we will break off and do various different things here. First, we'll start with Oswald. As Oswald is marching or walking hastily towards the Martillo's manor, you notice that every few blocks you notice a crowd of people like looking down into the beyond the sewer grates into the sewer, much like the previous hours when you guys had seen somebody supposedly chained underneath and people were trying to help them. You see about 4 instances of this on the way to the Martillo's house. Do you stop to go and investigate, or do you continue to the Martillo's?
I'm going to continue. Oswald would think that him spreading the word to tell them to evacuate would be much more than Oswald, who they don't know, trying to encourage them to get away from there.
Okay. So you head up to the Martillo's house, and there's one of the thugs out there, and he recognizes you. Ah, you're that Oswald character. Come see Lord
Yes.
Martillo again, huh?
I am.
Well, he's currently out and about right now, but I can deliver whatever message you got for him.
This is more of an emergency, and he shows the letter from Emiria. Do you
Alright.
know where he is out and about?
Well, from last I heard, there was a meeting about to happen in the palace, so I believe he's either already there or on his way. Probably just missed him, honestly.
Hearing this, Oswald will say thank you, but then he'll immediately 180 and be on the lookout for Martillo and head back then.
So yeah, as you're heading back, you don't see any signs of Lord Martillo. You don't see him. And it'll take you about 5 minutes to walk back to the palace. With that time, Shadow, you and Dario, where exactly do you head? You're muted, by the way, Martin.
I knew I was muted. I was like, shit. I thought it was gonna take longer than that.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm around.
Shadow and Dario are just heading back to wherever, because Shadow has no fucking idea where Casero actually lives. Shadow's gonna head back to where all the cats were.
Okay, so takes you about 10 minutes walking pretty quickly.
Would Dario know where the way was?
Well, yeah, and Dario's with you, so you guys are walking pretty hastily. As you're walking through, you guys notice the same sort of phenomenon that Oswald did. There's every few blocks, there's one of the sewer grates, and there's just people looking in, and they're like, "Do you guys see that? Yeah, yeah, yeah." And unless you guys stop to investigate,
Shadow is going to immediately stick her nose into this and see what they're talking about.
Okay, so you guys stop. Dario's kind of puzzled. He's like, "Don't we have a job to do? Whatever." Anyway, let's go.
Yeah.
Exactly how
Shadow
Dario
is
would
very
do
distracted.
Shadow, we'll say you guys are about right here when this happens. So you guys go over, and the people are like, "Yeah, look, all those coins. Oh God, there's got to be like 300 gold coins down there. How do we open this thing? I got a crowbar. Yeah, use that real quick." And you see,
Wait.
Yeah, super fucking wait, everybody.
What are you talking about? That's free gold.
How far down is that? How far down do you think that is?
Probably like 10 feet.
Oh, Shadow, hold on. Tabaxi has idea, and she's going to cast Mage Hand to try and grab some of that gold.
All right. So as your Mage Hand descends into the sewer, as you go to grab the gold coins, you notice that your Mage Hand just goes through it. as if an illusion, and you can tell from this you're not able to grab any coins. Your mage hand frantically keeps trying to grab the coins, but nothing is finding purchase.
Huh.
Hold on a second. Are those coins even real? Your
No,
hand,
I don't think so.
yeah, your hand's just falling through. After a few moments, you watch the gold coins just vanish.
Well, that
Tell
looks like
every-
it's, let's say, a trap.
Trap.
Tell
what do you
everyone
mean?
in town. Okay, so yeah, please tell everyone in town that if they see anything in the sewer, don't go down there. It's a trap.
Well, I mean, yeah, you guys all heard him, right? Apparently, those gold coins are a farce, and something's just trying to lure us down there. Yeah, you know, Tabaxi, what's your name?
Tabaxi's name is Shadow.
Shadow, you've done us a great service, and you, Muscle Man.
Dario.
Yeah, to hell what other people think if they have any ideas about you, but y'all are heroes. And then they start to
Thanks.
sort of cheer, and they're going, yeah, Shadow, Dario. Hey, enough cheering, we gotta tell everybody, stay out of sewers.
Yeah.
And you watch as this gaggle of people, like 6 to 7 people, just start to disperse, and they're going from like sewer grate to sewer grate, telling everybody in this general section, do not go down there. With that, you guys continue to the Casero's place. When you get to this courtyard, you notice at the alchemist location, sort of like at the top of the steps, a very familiar cat is perched up, cleaning herself. As you walk even closer, the cat looks up. It is my favorite tabaxi, and then my least favorite human.
We got business, important, very important business. I'll let Shadow take care of most of the talk.
We have a letter for Casero.
For Lord Casero?
Lord Casero.
And who is it from?
From... shit. What's her name?
The town sorceress.
Oh,
Grand
Amiria.
wizard lady, yes.
Very well. What does she have to do with Casero?
Some kind of warning about sewers.
This is a very important warning. In fact,
Very dangerous right now.
We just witnessed an event on the way here. We prevented an even worse part of what's about to happen. We can explain in detail, but it's very imperative that we get into contact with Casero right now.
I understand that you have a letter from Amiria, but why should I trust a mere human?
Oh my god, this is really not the time for this.
Shadow, holds out the letter.
Will you open it for me? Oh. As you can see, she looks at her paws. It is a little hard to open scrolls, as I am a cat.
Shadow's gonna, open the scroll out, and so that,
the cat can read it?
The cat can read it, yeah.
Alright, so the cat goes, well, you weren't lying. That is pretty dire circumstances. I assume you're pretty quick on your feet, Tabaxi, is that correct?
That is correct.
If you don't mind, and she jumps and leaps onto your shoulder, you feel her claws kind of sink in, but not in a way to harm you, but more as to keep a perch. Do you know where the bordello is?
Yes.
Yeah. Go there.
Shadow goes there as fast as she can.
Alright,
I try to keep, I do my best.
Dario is probably very successful.
Yeah. So Dario, when Shadow is running, you see her kind of take a break for just every couple seconds, and Dario kind of runs past and is like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden Shadow starts really fast, and he's like, what the hell? Yeah, at first he's like, oh, this is one of those NPC escort quests where you can't match their speed and you have to keep stopping, but in reality he's the one that can't match your speed. It only takes you guys, it takes you guys about a minute and a half to get to the bordello. And with the cat still perched up on your back, you approach the gentleman that is sort of outside in full plate mail. And he looks at you. I see that you've been granted permission to see Casero, hmm? He's talking to you, Shadow.
Is that what happened?
Yes, anytime the cat is on someone's back, it's an obvious sign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes.
Just give me a
Shadow
moment,
has...
please.
Okay.
You watch as he stands up, sort of stretches, because it must have been a while since he last stood up. And he goes... What's Dario doing?
Dario whispers, "Where's Rachel?" He walks by him behind.
Rachel is none of your concern, boy. Kidding. He doesn't say that. But so he turns around and you notice that the two lamps that are kind of like outside of the door to sort of light up the porch, he unscrews one of the like the glass casing, picks it up, and then bends the candle, and all of a sudden, Shadow, you notice that the door instantly changes color. What was once sort of a deep purple is now a bright crimson red. Go on in. I'm sure Casero will be happy to meet another cat person.
Shadow feels like there is inside joke that Shadow does not get, but okay.
Yes, it's quite okay. Anyway, have fun. And, don't stare him too closely into the eyes. He doesn't like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I assume you guys walk on inside then?
Hell cautiously.
Okay. So you open up the door, and the normal entrance to the bordello, you remember exactly what it looked like. It was a very open kind of room with a bunch of various chairs and a bar. But when you walk into this place, it is completely different. It's more of a mansion, you could say. So you walk inside, and there is a staircase in front of you. Hold on one second. And let me do this. There we go.
Oh man, the darkness.
Alright, so you guys should see this location, correct?
Yep.
It's in the sort of top leftish. Oh wow, big Dario. Anyway, so you guys walk inside, and there's a staircase in front of you. There's two pathways that have double doors, as well as one or two locations with a single door. As you guys walk in and close the door, you look around, and it's kind of dark. Shadow's able to see okay, but it's very dimly lit in here, which makes Dario have to kind of squint in order to see stuff. And at the top of the stairs, you guys see a gentleman start to walk down. He's got sort of mutton chops that go into a nice handlebar mustache. He's a very burly gentleman, very strong. His arms are really hairy, and he's got them sort of rolled up. So he's wearing long sleeves, but he's got them rolled up to expose his forearms. And you see him sort of with a handkerchief that has splotches of red, and he's cleaning his hands right now. He starts to walk downstairs. You see him sniffing the air. Ah! What, how'd you guys get in?
The guard let us in.
As you say that, the cat drops down and starts to you can hear the cat purring and brushing up against his legs, and he looks down. He's like, "Oh, that's how you did it. Anyway, obviously, if she brought you here, you got something important for me. What's your business?"
Are you Lord Casero?
I am. The name's Sergio.
Okay.
Right. Lord Sergio Casero.
That is
we
correct.
have a letter for you from Emilia.
The Grand Wizard.
Yes.
Interesting.
Here you go.
So you hold it, and he opens it, and he starts reading it, and you spiders? That's rich.
Very large spiders.
We have seen them with our own eyes.
I'm sure. My wife tells me all the time there's large spiders, and when I see them, they're about this fucking big. And he holds
My
out his hands
bro.
very,
Well,
very
these
tinily.
spiders were about.
No.
And she gestures to all of Dario. These fucking.
Yes.
You know,
dude.
like that one picture where Will Smith is like gesturing to his entire wife.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know what you. Oh wow. So there are actual giant spiders in this world, huh?
Yes. You're talking to. Okay, so super real talk. You do not believe in giant spiders. Are there? Okay, first of all, there should be giant rats already, right? That's a thing. That's a thing. We know that.
Hold
Also,
on,
dragons.
calm down, calm down. Listen, obviously, if Amiria has requested my presence, that's usually a big gesture. I don't really talk
My
to Amiria
apologies.
much, but obviously she needs me, and well, I guess we'll head on over there then.
Much appreciated.
Yes, no need to get your feathers all ruffled, boy.
Okay, all right, buddy. Okay, let's just. Okay.
How tall is Casero?
He's like 6'3". He's a pretty tall
Wow.
gentleman, yeah. And you can
Dario doesn't
like
give
you're
anything to resembling a fuck.
yeah, as you're looking at him, like he looks as if he's like overweight but muscular. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yes, so
I
he's
am
like a
imagining-
So like
very
a lumberjack.
exact. Yeah, he's a very strong, burly, like shoulders of Hercules. You know, kind of.
I am imagining Mafia Braum from League of Legends with mutton chop.
Yeah, think of Clayton from Tarzan.
The mountain.
Yeah, actually, the mountain sounds better. I think he looks more like the mountain.
Clayton.
Clayton. Not Clayton. If anyone played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. I get that. I am picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you. So Sergio approaches real quick and he's like, "Well, how about you lead the way then, Cat?"
All right, and we go back to the tower.
Okay. So you guys will go back here. You guys are finishing up your little part. Jeff, you and your comrades are heading to the tavern, right? You're muted, by the way. Okay, I guess he's not there. Jeffrey! You muted, fuck.
I just didn't
There
want
he
my
is.
typing stuff. I'm here.
Okay, there he is. So you guys are heading back. As you get to this part, or this section of the road, you start to take a right, and you notice Demi take a left.
I talked to Eka. Is your friend going to meet her friends right now, or what's happening?
Yeah, well, she's gonna take that sample so they can study it.
Okay. How will she know how to meet back up with us?
She's magic. Actually, we should probably ask her.
Yeah.
Demi,
Excuse me.
where should we meet back up again? How can we stay?
I say the tavern.
Where are you guys going?
I'm going to the tavern first, and then I have to make a few more shops at like various, like the alchemist shop or the herbalist shop after the tavern, and then I have to go to the other herbalist shop, then the bordello. But just to inform people, so just meet us back at the tavern if you can't find us, okay? The one you
Which
found.
tavern?
Eka, did you meet her at the tavern or no?
Good
yeah,
one.
yeah, the tavern
Sorry,
that I was
The Silent
recovering
Bow.
in.
The
Yeah,
Silent
so
Bow
meet-
Tavern.
Meet us at
Silent
the
Bow?
Silent Bow.
Okay. I will meet you guys back at Silent Bow once I talk to my contacts.
Okay. Cool. Wish you luck. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll
Have
start
fun,
with.
play nice with the other kids.
I never do, but thanks.
Don't get eaten by spiders.
That's probably for the best, yes.
So we'll start with Demi. You walk, and it takes you about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. You don't really feel the sense of urgency because you don't have a really good grasp of the severity of the situation since you weren't down in the depths of the sewers to see these
Mhm.
giant ass spiders. But as you get there, you see a couple of your fellow tribesmen and women. They're currently looking at all the different stalls. A lot of them are over at the blacksmith over here, watching the blacksmith make some weapons and stuff. And you know that you, as a druid, you don't really like metallic objects as much as you can. You feel that it's a little unnatural, but your tribesmen, being the barbarians that they are looking at these finely crafted weapons, and they're trying to purchase a couple, but they just do not have the funds for it.
I help them out and pay for a couple of things that they need.
Okay, so as they're pointing to the weapons, the blacksmith is going, yeah, that one would be 5 gold. And he turns out his pockets. He's like, we don't really use gold up north. And then you come over and you put down 5 gold, and then you throw in another 10. And she's like, will that be 3 of them then? And you can see they're
Yes.
well-forged battle axes is what they're wanting.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll take them.
So the gentleman who's got the same pale skin as you and a couple scars on his face, he looks at you, thank you, Demi. These 2 battle axes will serve me great. And he starts to spin them around, get used to their weight and stuff. He hands the other one to a man that's a little smaller than him, but you know that this is his son. Yeah, these will be really good to protect the tribe. You're back pretty soon. Did you find what we needed?
Yes and no. I found a potion, and I have the sample that needs to go back up to the elders as quickly as possible.
You found the sample
they need
already?
just a small portion, not enough for anyone to change into anything, but after talking to some people that I met, we don't want to use this potion to turn into anything.
Interesting.
So,
but we'll study it to try to figure out a way to use it for our methods then.
yes. It would also be good to see if, from what I talked to with the people that I met, people can't turn back into themselves once they've taken it. So we also need to come up with some sort of, whatchamacallit, the
way to bring them
an
back.
antidote of some sort to turn them back into humans as well.
Interesting. Well, do you plan to stay here a while, or are you coming back with us?
I'm going to stay here a while. I'm going to trust you guys to get not only the sample, but also the other things that we bought safely back up to the villages. You know what to do with the other thing. But I need to know as soon as possible what they find with the potion and the antidote.
All right. Well, we'll send an animal messenger to you once we get home. Should be just about a week's journey.
Okay.
All right. Well, you stay safe, Demi. All right, son. Let's head
You
on
guys
out.
too. Enjoy your axes.
Oh yeah. And he starts to swing them around. He's got very good prowess holding these battle axes in one hand each. He's a strong gentleman. And he starts to walk towards the gate, as that is where you guys parked your cart. And as he gets out of viewing distance, do you turn around and start heading to the tavern?
Yeah, let's go to the tavern.
Okay. So before she even gets there, Jeff and Okta, you arrive to the tavern, and you walk inside, and there's not really too many folks, but of course your old pal Firo is in the corner in his normal spot, just kind of hanging out. He's playing cards with some folks. Yeah, I'll raise you a gold. Oh, Jeff, my friend, how you doing?
Hello, Firo. I got some news for you.
Yeah,
So,
can you play cards while doing it? We can deal you in, just started a new hand.
Sure, why not?
All right, and what about your friend there?
Akka, would you like to play?
I only drink. I don't play cards.
I like this girl.
Could we get her a drink?
Oh yeah, definitely. And he waves over to the barkeeper, and she brings over a round for everybody, including you, Jeff. And
Okay.
yeah, just put it on my tab. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so what are we playing?
We're playing Dead Man's Gambit.
Okay, I never played. What's this?
Oh well, I'll teach you. And he teaches you roughly, but not very well. More or less so that he can keep the upper hand and win the gold. But as you guys are playing the game, so Jeff, what's this news? What's this business you got?
So remember how we stopped the feud the other day?
Yeah.
And whatnot. Right after that, we woke up in the morning. We went around town very briefly, and we heard cries of commotion. A guard was dragged into the sewers. Someone grabbed him. We followed. We proceeded. We found a dead body, a severed arm, and some blood leading deeper into the sewer. We traversed deeper. We found this very cold cavern, very deep underground. And
Like under us?
yes, under the sewers, under the city, directly. We ventured forward deeper and deeper, and we found this frozen city. And there was these strange ice spider stalagmites, and we ventured deeper and deeper and into the city, and we found just more and more of these ancient rock spiders. We tried to escape, but our exit was blocked, so we had to go deeper into even still. We found this ancient looking spider. We assume she's a spider queen because that's what the other figure called her.
Hold on, a spider queen?
Yes.
So not only are there big ass spiders, but there's a queen telling them what to do?
Yes, and this other figure that I was speaking with her was talking about joining forces to take over the city. The spiders would come up from the below and attack soon, and the other figure would come from the outside and siege the city.
Well, who's this other figure? What kind of army does she have? Like, if she's gonna attack us, like, if she's underground, how the hell did she get out without us seeing her?
We've come across her before, and I don't really see any reason not to tell you. We believe this is Nagex from the old legends.
As soon as you say that, he puts his hand down. I fold. Jeff.
Yes.
Upstairs with me, huh?
Yeah, let's go.
Gentlemen, he claps his hands together. It was a pleasure playing with you all, but I've got some business to attend to, as you can hear. So, yeah, you can take my portion of the pot. But yeah, Jeff, let's go upstairs.
Akka, well, let's go.
Yeah, she
I
can
was
come
gonna say
too.
she rises at the same time. She's not gonna get away from this conversation.
And then as Firo starts walking, he's holding his AO with him, and he goes over and grabs another, and he pounds back the other. He's like, oh.
You might need more, yeah. Good idea.
All right, well, yeah, let's go to your room, huh?
Okay.
And so he heads upstairs. After you guys close the door, you watch him place a parchment with a rune on it, and then he sort of swipes it. You know this to be the rune for silence, and makes a silent barrier around you guys. We should be able to talk in peace here. What do you know about Nagex?
The party I was with originally, I met up with them. We all originally met up in this ancient ruins. I was actually working for these cultists, trying to decipher some runes, just me doing some odd jobs for people, and then I was about to leave their group because they're acting very strange, and then Adeline, the only member you see here, was with that group. We met up, and so coincidentally, they were summoning Nagex from the grave.
So wait,
I was in
she's
that
actually
tomb.
back?
Yes, that is true.
Holy shit, you gotta be kidding me.
And we've been on and off trailing, her and signs of her for the past, has it been a few weeks? Or I'm not sure if you retroactively changed the time frame, if it's a month or so, or a few weeks.
Since Nagex came back?
Yeah.
So if we go to story and to the calendar, she came back, I believe, what was it, session 5?
Mm-hmm.
5 or
I
6?
just touched the time gap between us moving around through
it's almost been a month-ish since she came back.
And I tell him that was around a month ago. So she is not at a full strength since she was revived. She looked very lich-like at the time. And
she did appear in the vision that I had way back in the mining camp.
In Iris, yeah.
In Iris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because none of you guys talked about your vision at all.
Oh, in the temple.
I told anyone, yeah.
The
Cave of Reflection.
The Cave of Reflection.
Oh yes, we all see our own individual futures with that. What did you see, if you don't mind me asking?
As a possible future, I saw her beside me, well, me beside her, doing terrible things. It would never be something I would want to do. It was frightening. But
Well, I
she looked
gathered.
very powerful.
Yes, from that cave, what I gathered is it's a possible future with possible, like, what you could be at a maximum power level, kind of a thing, maximum potential,
What
good or,
it
good or
told me
evil.
was we need to get her now before it becomes too much for us anyone to handle.
Yes, and I look back to Firo and say, yes. So she's still not at her full strength, and she's gathering her forces once again, I believe. And just, I believe she attacked another city because
Like
we had
recently.
reports. Yes, I think to the north. The other
so
city.
that means that she's actually out and about. She's raising her army.
Yes, yes.
Oh no, this isn't good, gentlemen. This isn't, and lady. This isn't good at
So
all. It's all
we
coming
just
back together.
So as we saw Nagex talking to the Spider Queen, we narrowly escaped, and we actually had Amelia, the Grand Wizard, help us out.
Oh, you
So,
mean Amiria?
yes. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
She knows about it now, and the other parts of the party have split up to inform the Caseros and Martello, the heads of those families, that we need aid in stopping this attack that we're not sure when it's happening, but it's going to happen soon.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think Martillo's at the palace right now. Lord Barton was holding a town meeting of sorts for the various council members.
Yes.
Martillo was invited, as he usually is, and I don't know if Casero got his invitation. No one's seen him in a while, so it's kind of weird, honestly. Like, I know he's around, but I haven't seen him. It's weird.
I only know of the cats.
Oh yeah, those pesky sons of bitches. That's why I can't go over there. They always find me.
Yeah, they see you before you see them. It's strange.
Do you think Casero is up to something unusual?
Well, the only thing Casero would be worried about right now is how to take back the city from Martillo. As far as working with Nagex and these spiders you talk about, I don't think Casero has anything to do with that.
In the very least, can we count you as an enemy of Nagex and to band
Oh
together with?
yes. Yeah, if I have to fight her again, I will. I'd prefer not to, so.
Again?
No one would.
What do you mean by again?
Oh, well. Keep it hush-hush between us three, okay?
Okay.
But when she first rose to power, I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Let's not get on that subject. You're gonna make me feel real old.
No, it's quite fine. But
anyway, yeah. So I was there when she first tried to take over the world, and man, those was some dark times. Let me tell you what. The only reason I'm still here though is Lord Martillo, his great ancestors, somehow found a way to pretty much make me immortal.
Is he also immortal?
That I don't know, honestly. But he's been around for a good while, that's for sure. About 200, 300 years.
When I look at Firo, is he human? I can tell.
So yeah, you look at him and he's got the facial features of a human. You notice that he has most all of his body except for his face covered up with clothing.
Okay.
Even his head is he's got that hat on. So you only see his facial features. He's almost got a little turtleneck kind of thing, even though the picture doesn't really have that.
So his body could very well be made of sand and creepiness.
Yeah, he could be a mummy or something. Who knows?
Okay.
He's not a mummy. Don't worry.
So what happened when Nagex came to power? Can you explain what happened?
We only know stories.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll try to keep this quick because we got places to be. But that city you're talking about. That used to be Nagex's empire.
To the north? The
one underneath us.
Oh, underneath
Where
us.
that Spider Queen lives? Yeah, that's
This was the capital?
Yes. This is New Cragstorm technically, and that's Old Cragstorm. That's when Nagex found out how to become all powerful and start raising the dead and shit. And it all began here. So that must be the reason she's trying to take this place back with the Spider Queen, so that she can rule from this location once again.
So how did she end up being defeated?
The gods intervened, and used pretty much all their power in order to banish her, but I mean, I guess multiple idiots brought her back somehow, and I don't like. I know
Who's
the
that?
gods are still there, but man, they haven't been doing much lately. They're still regaining power, I believe.
Yeah, the cultists that brought her back were these elves that are trying to regain some of their former glory.
Yeah, I know how the
Um,
elves feel about that whole thing. Kind of how
what?
Germany in World War II. I'm joking.
So what do you? So my friend Oswald, he found this ruined book, and he mentioned elves and power in the back in the day, like in something about Negex's power in with water. Do you know anything about that? Like, do you know anything about the
Well,
elves from that time?
without knowing exactly what that book looks like, I think I know exactly what book you're talking about.
Okay.
I put that there.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Bellalite?
Yeah. So we actually have a stone. We were almost inducted. We stopped in the city of Ashenport. We stopped some witches that were trying to basically give all the souls of the human, like of the town of to Nigex, and we stopped that. And then one of the members of the town was a Bellalite member undercover, and we have yet to be initiated, but we have the stone, and it's been glowing for a while. To be honest, we haven't actually gone. We keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. Like, they wanted me to join their ranks long ago, but, you know, Firo's got other things to do. So
Yeah, of
I
course.
kind of put them on the back burner. They didn't induct me or anything, but I was an ally with them. So more than likely, that's probably your situation too. But
Yeah.
regardless, I didn't know all the information that they had, but I knew enough that Nagex was bad news. She needed to be stopped. And once we finally stopped her, like, the world had to rebuild at that point. Like, it was madness, in all honesty.
Okay. So, do you know anything about that? So that book, the runes you put in, like, was that just a warning, or
It
like?
was pretty much just in case if she came back, I would be able to pick up where I left off. But after she got banished, you know, most of the members of Bellalite, I believe, started to help rebuild cities, much like Cragstorm here. And they pretty much tried to keep the history of Nagex a hush-hush. They didn't want to scare the people or let mad folks know that it's possible to become godlike yourself.
So, do you know how to stop her, or are you saying the Bellalite knows how to stop her?
In all honesty, I don't think either of us know how to stop her. The gods are the ones that did it, and they're not ready for her to rise to power again. So, but
Then
from my notes, I did realize that somehow she's able to split her power, and draw from two different places, two different things maybe.
so in the forest, we found the grave of her child.
Oh, that's what that was.
That's probably what was making the forest tainted, and we releases we burned the body of the host, and the spirit went away.
So hold on, you did that before you just saw her recently, then, right? Today?
Yes, but
So did she look like she was suffering at all or anything like that?
she seemed fine, to be honest. She couldn't see me; I was invisible, and she was kind of far away. But
Well,
I think she still saw us.
If
Or at
she's
least
still fine, then that means that whatever you did, like, that's probably just one of the keys to the puzzle then.
okay. But regardless, we have a battle afoot. I'd love to talk more, but
Yeah, no, after what you've told me, if Nagex is really back, Cragstorm is not safe, that's for sure.
is there a way to evacuate or arm the city before it's too late? I'm not sure if it's
Or
better
at
to
least-
lock her down or
Or
leave.
at least inform everyone.
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
definitely be able to tell everybody, that's for sure. But as for arming the common folk or getting them out of here, like, I don't know which direction the Gex would be coming from, and we could be leading them straight into them. And if we do that, well, we just made our army even bigger. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I knew she was in the north recently. Definitely in the north recently.
If that's the case, then we could probably send them to the east or something like that, to one of the harbor towns over there, just for refuge until we get this thing whole sorted out.
We could, but also we need. There's also the thing of the spiders in the sewers and below the sewers. We need to inform people to stay away from the sewers as well.
Yeah, that's true. So You know what? It's been lovely talking. We'll have to talk more, but we're kind of pressed for time, you know?
Yes, just I'll be here periodically throughout the day. I need to rest up. I'm pretty wounded as it is, but I need to make some runs. So, but I'll be back here if you need me.
He walks over towards the door, and he takes off that scroll after swiping it with his fingers, and you notice that this little, it's kind of like a blue bubble that was around you guys. It kind of dissipates, and he rolls up the scroll and puts it in his pocket.
Before he goes, I say, could you give me a copy of that to study?
I mean, I can try to get you one later, but as of right
That's
now,
fine.
it's the only
Yeah,
one I
you're
got.
busy. It's fine.
Yeah,
Is
don't
there
worry.
somewhere we can stop by and get it ourselves?
Actually, I think there might be.
More than likely, M&M and Chances could do it.
Yes.
Let's stop by there later.
All right. Well, you guys rest up, and I'll see you later.
Sounds good.
And
Sounds
he
Thank
good.
you for
opens the
taking time to
door.
speak with us, Spyro.
Oh yeah, pleasure's all mine. And he does like a finger gun with a wink, and then he starts to leave. Is Jeff and Okta gonna stay at the tavern then?
I turned it. Oh,
Do we have time to go to that sorcery place and check out that?
Oh, M&M Enchanters.
thing, or-
Oh, you've never been there
Yeah,
before.
M&M Enchanters.
Oh, he's run by the shop's run by two gnomes, Marvin and Marvine. They're pretty nice. I do plan to go there. I need to make 3 runs. I need to go 4 runs. I need to go to both of the herbalists and then the other doctor, not the doctor. Who the 2 doctors outside of town?
You got Dr. Gear in the north, and then you got the alchemist Martine.
Yeah, I need to go see Martine. I need to go see the herbalist lady. And I need to go to
You've got a lot of
Enchanters.
stuff that we'll
Yeah,
get to
I just,
later.
little things. But just
Uh,
I need to go like 4 places. If you want to tag along, you can.
Yeah, I might as well.
Yeah, Okta hasn't seen the city. She's seen the sewer. but
It'll
not
be
the
nice to get out and about with the fresh air.
Yes, it would.
As you guys get to the bottom level of the tavern, that is when Demi walks back in. She's been there, it looks like, for a little while, and she's currently sitting at a table, and she sees you guys.
Demi, back
Heyo. Yes, my team is off to the north with a note for for my circle to start studying the sample that you graciously provided to me.
Great.
I'm gonna go on a few errands. You want to come?
Why not? I have nothing better to do.
Okay. So what's the closest to us, Brady?
Well, actually, we're going to
I
hop over.
probably segue, but
yeah. But what's closest to you? Like which
yeah.
location? I think M&M Enchanters probably.
Yeah. But yeah, just do
because
you
you
segue.
don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to go out of town and then come back into town. So.
Okay.
Now we'll go over to what Adeline is doing. So Adeline, the 2 large doors that you approach lead into what looks to be a very old throne room.
Damn, a big room. Hold on, let me zoom out.
Let's
Okay.
see, where did I put Amiria? I'll just use this.
Shit.
Actually, I think I know where she's at. There she is. Get rid of that and put this instead. So as you walk inside, the doors are quite heavy, but you notice that Amiria doesn't even touch them as she opens them up with her magic. You guys start to walk in, and you notice that there are palace guards all along the lines here. They all have, a couple of them have war hammers, some others have long swords and stuff. They all have a shield with them as well. You guys walk down the middle. In the very end, you see a gentleman that's sort of sitting on top of a throne, and there are 2 beefier guards with tower shields and plate mail armor, as well as flails in their hands. But they don't look like they're aggressive. They look like they're in a sort of reactive stance, just in case anything comes or anything threatens the gentleman on the throne. In front of you, you see 2 gentlemen currently standing there. One of them looks to be an older gentleman. The other one is a he's about middle-aged, and he's a really tough-looking dude. He's a beefy-looking guy. As you approach with Emiria, she leans over to you real quick and whispers, looks like Lord Barton has already started his meeting. So just keep quiet, which I know you do very well. Do not speak unless spoken to. See, you're good at it already. As she comes closer, the gentleman on the throne, he kind of think of King Joffrey as he's kind of just sitting there like bored out of his mind on the throne. This guy's kind of sitting the same way. He's got his face on one of his fists, and he's talking to the two gentlemen. The older gentleman's like, sir, it would seem the walls are perfectly fine. I don't understand what you mean by break-ins and people getting into the city without being properly checked. The gentleman, which you would have come to assume already as Lord Barton, he sort of sits up and he says, there's more infected every single day, which means that whatever people that we've excluded out of our city are making their way back in and infecting more of our people. How long is it going to take before it gets all the way to me? I don't want that to happen. That would crumble the whole society. If I die, I can't die. I need you to go and make sure the walls are triple checked. We gotta find any break-ins. We gotta make sure, double the guards even. Do whatever it takes. I don't want people getting into the city. You hear me, Jaquie? And this old man goes, very well, sir, very well. Do we have the funds to train more soldiers? Because I don't think we've got any more soldiers. Am I right, Braden? He looks over to the burly gentleman next to him, and he's like, aye, we've got soldiers all day. But if they're well trained or not, the fundage has been kind of low. I've been running out of teachers. You see Lord Barton put his his face into his hands and kind of scruff his hair. I don't care how it gets done. I just need it done. Otherwise, you two are out of the job. You hear me? No need to be so rash, sir. We'll make sure things are done, don't worry. Maybe we can go back to Lord Martillo for a loan. Lord Barton stands up. Did you not notice we have guests? We do not talk about such things with guests. You're both dismissed. And they look around and they kind of like have this face of, fuck. Very well. Good day, sir. And they start to proceed out. They both glance at you, Adeline and Emiria, as they are starting to walk out. But Lord Barton makes sure that they leave the room as you guys approach. And once the doors close, Barton sits back down and he looks towards Emiria. Well, what are you here for? Emiria looks to you, Adeline, and walks forward. I have here one of the infected. As she says that, almost every single guard draws their weapons.
Thanks.
And Lord Barton stands up. And Emiria holds out her hand. Don't worry, it is recent, and I have studied it enough to know that he is not a threat to any of you. Lord Barton looks at her. What do you mean he's not a threat? He's infected. You just told me, and you brought him here. I just told Jaquie that I didn't want to get infected, because then the whole town will crumble. And yet here you are, bringing infected guards. And they start to approach very slowly, but Emiria holds out her hand and says, Please, Lord Barton, do not test me. I know exactly what I am doing. And he sits back down and he says, You've got 30 seconds. And she approaches you, Adeline, and sort of, if you would, and points towards where your spider bites are.
Yeah, I'll throw out my neck or whatever.
Okay, so yeah, you pull back you pull back your armor and clothing, and tilt your neck to where you can see it. And she points. She's like, "These right here are spider bites." And I understand, yeah, they're quite large, but that's because what we're dealing with here are very large spiders. Now, you only get infected if you get bitten by one of these spiders. Otherwise, the disease or whatever it is cannot be transferred from person to person. And I know this because I've been studying one in my tower for the past few days. You can see Lord Barton is flustered with anger at hearing that there's been an infected in the castle for a few days, and he's not very happy about it, but he hushes his tongue for now. Sir, we need every available man to go on an excursion through the sewers, and we need to somehow either rid this town of all of these spiders, or we need to figure out a way to get them to where they cannot come back up to the surface. That is my proclaimed cure as of right now. From what I know, the spider bite injects a special venom that somehow gets into your abdominal region, and she keeps pointing at the various places on your body, Adeline, as she describes them.
And he'll definitely be shuffling uncomfortably with all the
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. In the abdomen, it coalesces into an egg, and after a few weeks, the egg hatches and eats the person on the inside out, releasing a sort of toxin that drives them mad through the pain and stuff like that. That is why people that have been deemed infected have attacked anyone that has been around their general vicinity. I feel that we can use some sort of surgical procedure to extract the egg, but as of right now, the best way to prevent the disease is from not getting bit by the spider. And that means we need to get rid of the spider nest that lies under our very city. Lord Barton looks up, and then he looks to you, Adeline. So, how'd you get bit?
Well, we went under the city following the spiders. Pretty common, actually. Very obvious reason. We go by spiders, spiders bite me.
Oh, so you just got willy-nilly bit.
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that.
But regardless,
we-
you've seen where they
God, I
live.
wish I was.
Right, we were down there, and for reasons of following the people, Adolin just follows the people, really. Adolin does not know much. And the people were down there, and the spiders were down there, and Adolin got bitten when the people ran.
Oh, so you were abandoned by your comrades. Doesn't seem like a very fun bunch to be around then.
No, we were together. Adolin just fell behind.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. So what you're telling me, you're the only one that got bit?
Well, there are many in your city, probably, but of my group, yes.
Good. He looks to Emiria. I don't want him to leave your little tower. You hear me? And Emiria looks. He's got other business. I don't want him leaving your tower. You hear me? Emiria sort of glances down to the ground, looks to Adeline. Fine. He won't leave my tower as I extract the egg. And once he's extracted, I will let him leave. And he looks back and, yeah, as long as you can 100% guarantee that he won't go crazy, then we're fine. Otherwise, I don't want him near me. Yes, sir. And then she walks back a little bit and says, do you plan to move all the guards and take out these spiders? I'll have to talk to Braden about it and see what he recommends, but if you suggest that the spiders get rid of, then we'll have to get rid of them. Very well, sir. And then she looks to you. Adeline, shall we go back to my tower?
I do not have much choice, it seems.
Unfortunately, no. All the guards watch as you guys leave. Lord Barton takes his place, looking flustered yet very nervous at this whole situation. As you guys are walking out, this is when our friend, where is he?
Sean?
No. Lord Martillo. He starts to walk in. He looks over and steps out of your way. He doesn't recognize you, but he recognizes Emiria, but he doesn't say anything. And she just nods her head towards him, and he does the same. and then you guys exit. We'll go back here. Alright, so as you guys exit, that is when Shadow, Dario, and Casero walk into the main room, or the main entry hall of the place. Oswald also walks in at the same time with them, and Firo, not
Hey.
far behind.
Hey.
As they all walk in, Firo breaks the silence. Is Martillo here yet? And Emiria goes, yes, he just walked in for a meeting with Lord Barton. Oh, very good, very good. Excuse me, y'all. And he pushes everyone kind of like he gets out of everyone's way, walks inside. Shadow, you, Dario, and Casero standing there, and Sergio looks to you. Well, I don't think you're needed no more, so I appreciate the escort, but yeah, you might as well wait here. The adults got stuff to do.
Okay.
All right. Shadow gives him like a double thumbs up.
Dario makes no sign of part. He's not super chuffed at all being called a kid or whatever the fuck.
Shadow doesn't care. Shadow is literally a child.
That is
Well, that's good for you, friggin' cat.
That is the truth of truths. So
Is there anything stopping Oswald from following, going in?
the guards there don't seem to be worried about who comes and goes. Does Oswald try to go in?
Yeah, since Martillo apparently went that way.
Okay. So Oswald, you start to walk in, and Maria glances at you. Oswald, Martillo got your message. What are you going in there for?
It seems he was already headed this way, so I did not come into contact with him.
Oh, interesting. Well, then he must be here for some other reasons, and I gotta say, my curiosity has piked, so shall we all listen in on this conversation then?
Hells yeah! I got stealth. This dude got this giant cat got stealth. We can stealth it up stealth style.
If you want to get thrown in the dungeon, go ahead and stealth your way through. Otherwise, just act
okay.
like you're meant to be there, and all should be fine.
I can do both, but yeah, sure, we'll do your.
She starts to walk up towards the main doors, and the guards open it for her, and she gestures you all in, Adeline as well.
Yay, the infected.
All right.
Right, I can't wait for the. I told you to put him in the tower.
Right?
Or
fucking spiders just burst from him.
Oh no!
This is Adeline's death scene. I'm just joking. Adeline shouldn't die anytime soon unless you guys.
No, that's where he turns into an undead.
Anyway, I gotta use the bathroom real quick, so let us take 5 real fast, and then we will.
Oh hell yes! I gotta make tea.
There you go. Make some tea.
You're gonna
I'll be
make
right back.
tea in 5 minutes?
Nope. I'm getting started on making tea.
I can make tea in 5 minutes.
I can make coffee in
Boil
less
this
than that.
water.
Oh.
Yeah, boiling the water to steep tea, that's gonna take a few minutes.
So I take it you guys are against microwaving the water then?
I guess that could work too, but I have like a Japanese dragon teapot thing.
Oh, gotta use it.
Those are rad, yeah.
Is it not microwavable?
I never tried, but it's not. Was it made for that?
Metal?
Yeah, isn't it metal? Don't do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I figured being a dragon it'd be like clay.
No. And actually, I'll have to double check the material, but
ceramic. You can microwave ceramics.
But I actually ordered more oolong tea because it's been a couple of years since I had tea. I'm gonna try to cold brew it. See what that's like.
Cold brew oolong tea?
Give it a shot. See what it ends up being like.
Wait, so is that like a thing? Or are you just like, what would it be like?
both. Apparently, it is a thing, and plus, I want to see what it ends up being like as well.
I don't know. I think along ice would be pretty nice, actually.
I used to have an iced tea maker. I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, apparently, because I tried googling it as well. Apparently, it varies. People deep from like let it cold brew for 8 to 12 hours, and then however many leaves, depending on how strong you want it to be. I'll make both the usual hot brew and then test the cold brew.
So I bought an arrow bed because I didn't feel like waiting on a mattress in hot spring. And yes, it's going to be a very interesting line of conversation. Trust me.
What's an arrow bed?
But
Air bed or arrow bed?
the instructions say to keep it like inflating for hours, and I'm like, really?
Oh, so when you buy a new mattress, it usually comes compressed.
Yeah.
So is it like
It's
a mattress mattress, or is it like what is it?
It's like a inflatable mattress. So it said like it needs to stretch out, and that's why it needs to be inflated for like a couple of hours. But I don't think people appreciate it.
Arrow bed.
Arrow or
AERO.
Oh,
Hey, those look pretty comfy, quite frankly.
Yeah, so
is it one you just plug in and it inflates itself, or do you have to get an inflator?
It's going on right now, but I'm worried about it being too loud because I do have neighbors, and the walls are pretty thin, and I just moved here.
Well, what time is it where you are?
They'll get over
It's 4 p.m. It's not like late.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Oh, they can suck it if they complain now.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Just tell them you're vacuuming. You don't like to live in filth like they do.
Oh, come on, I'm not gonna be that third person. But
Throw that shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, but seriously though, I'm a worrier, as a lot of people probably figured out by now. So it's fine. Everything's fine. Also, I'm playing Warframe while we're doing this.
Yeah, I would just blow it up now, though. Just like as long as it's not like 9 o'clock or later, I'd say anything's good to go.
Honestly, I'm just psyched to finally be middle class.
Is it all it's cracked up to be?
It's pretty cool. I don't have any furniture yet. I have an arrow bed and a microwave, and it turns out that's all you really and an internet connection and electricity.
It's not bad till shit starts breaking, and then you're like, "Crap, I gotta do this shit myself."
Yeah, it's just time consuming.
That is true.
Shadow is back.
Is everybody else back as well?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I've been here all while.
That was good. That was good. I'm just reading what you guys were typing because I do not pay attention to it. As
Adolin being woefully ignorant while having all the information.
Oh, we have some gold that goes on in this chat sometimes.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
Adolin just follows the people.
It's kind of a sin not to pay attention to the chat. It's gold.
Alright, I think I've got the gist of it. So, let's see, who all's here? Dario, Oswald.
I should have given Dario an accent.
Well, this was your first D&D character, so...
What race is he?
Human.
Is he just human?
He's a normal ass human. That's why he can't see shit when
That's why he speaks common,
Americans.
Basic ass human, I'm sorry.
Boridilians, I swear.
So regular ass human with the ability to run like 45 feet in 6 seconds.
Shoot fucking Hadouken.
Yup.
So as you guys, let's see, I got everybody, right? No, Shadow. Where's Shadow?
Where the fuck am I?
In the shadow.
Oh! There we go. We're in there.
So as you guys walk up, you get to about right about here, and you see Lord Martillo and Sergio sort of standing side by side. Furo's actually behind Lord Martillo. And Lord Barton is standing as he greets them. He's like, "Ah, Martillo, Casero. Glad to see you here. I assume you got my message." Martillo, yes, I got your message and headed out as soon as I could. Casero sort of scratches his head. I didn't get no message, but I'm here. I thought we had other things to discuss, but you go first, sir. And Barton sort of sits down and he said, it has come to my attention that in recent days you guys almost destroyed each other out in the streets. Is that correct? Lord Martillo sort of looks to Casero, and you guys can feel the tension just by them being in close proximity to each other. Like, it's very unnerving. It does not feel very comfortable to be here right now. It is not a sexual tension, no.
Fucking.
It had to be asked, alright?
I guess so, yeah.
This is why I turned off my microphone.
That makes sense. Anyway, Martillo, yes, Casero has given the okay for alchemists to turn my people into beasts of primal rage. I do not agree with these methods. I do not like my people being targeted, so I decided to target him back, as per usual. Was that just my backpack? Okay, cool. Anyway, so I sent him a message, or was going to, and he looks back behind him, noticing that you guys all came in. When this group of adventurers who have graced our presence here now ended up stopping me from doing what I planned to do. So, you could thank them if you want, but I do not believe you have the coin to do it. And he kind of gives a smirk. You guys don't really see this, but he's definitely talking shit to Lord Barton right now. Barton, you can see, has gotten flustered again with anger. Casero sort of steps forward and goes, "Don't worry, we weren't actually turning anyone into anything. That was a rogue alchemist. He had nothing to do with my folks, and I was trying to get that across to Lord Martillo, but he's thick-skulled." And he glances over at Martillo, and Martillo is not really enjoying being called thick-skulled. You and your dogs of men, you've got no class. Martillo, you want to take this outside? We can do that. Lord Barton holds up his hand. "Gentlemen, please, quit. You're starting to get me unnerved. But, Martillo, I need to keep you in line. You can't be just destroying half of the city because they turned one of your people into a creature that you do not like. Casero, I need you to stop these illegal activities, otherwise repercussions will be served." They both look at each other. "Is this all you wanted us for?" "Yeah, what else did you need? I got this letter here from Emiria saying to meet here." And that's when Emiria walks forward. "Lord Barton, that was the last thing I needed to talk to you before you dismissed us, but there's an attack coming on to Cragstorm soon." "An attack? What kind of attack? Like, large-scale invasion?" Something like that, yes. It would seem that an ancient evil has been brought back to our world. The ancient wizard, now lich, Nagex. As she says that name, you guys would notice that Firo kind of shudders a little bit. You also notice that Martillo kind of shudders as well. Casero sort of holds his ground. Lord Barton kind of scratches his head. Should I know about a Nagex? I don't think I've ever heard that name before." And Emiria, no disrespect, but humans do not live too terribly long, and I would see that maybe the legends of those in the ancient past do not reach the modern ears of humans. But nonetheless, it is a force to be reckoned with, I can guarantee you that, and she's heading this way from what this group has told me. Specifically, and she gestures for Oswald to come forward.
Oswald will walk forward.
Okay. So Oswald comes and joins her side.
Okay, there then.
This here is Oswald. He works very close with one of my former team members, and he actually just suffered a great defeat in the north from this lich and her undead. Oh, undead? What is... No, there's no such thing as undead. That's a myth. Obviously, this team member of yours has been drinking too much or
Dario.
taking... What's Dario
Dario's
doing?
barely keeping himself quiet. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
don't drink. And this information you're hearing is true. Siege Crimson, who is the ruler of that fortress, is busy trying to take it back. Most of the men are dead or undead.
I know Siege. I know of him and his exploits. I do know that he is a great commander, and if he was besieged by some undead, unruly lot, then obviously he's starting to become weak and frail.
He was not at his fortress when the army attacked. He received a message and immediately returned to his fortress to see it taken over.
Well, it's a good thing I never leave Cragstorm. I would never leave my people like that. Regardless, how do I know for sure it's undead? I still do not believe the myth.
Does it matter if you believe they're undead or not? A giant army destroyed a fortress, and they plan to attack Cragstorm as well.
He kind of interlaces his fingers and tucks them in front of his chin a little bit. He's like, fair point. Whether they're undead or not, that does not bother me. But if Siege did lose his whole fortress and a good amount of his army, and they're heading this way, then we should prepare, just in case. Do we have any scouting reports? As he looks to his guards, and all of them shake their head, and he goes, send out a scouting party immediately, please. Follow the trail up north, go as far as Irisk, and then return. Tell me what you find. The gentleman, or this guard right here, begins to move out and exits the room. As for the rest of them, Lord Martillo, Lord Casero, I assume that you would help us in this defense that is needed, correct? Casero goes, might as well. I've been itching for a fight. And he kind of places his fist into his hand. And Martillo, in all honesty, Barton, the only way that the Martillos will come to the aid of Cragstorm is if you agree for new ownership of Cragstorm after this whole ordeal is done. And it's at that point everyone kind of pauses for a moment. Barton shifts forward uncomfortably. What? Yes, I do not like the way you run this town. In all honesty, if it was not for me, this place would be bankrupt by the next couple hours. The pity you put on these folks, you neglect them, you banish them from the premise. It is not good for a leader to do that. In all honesty, it is a coward's way of ruling. Barton stands up at this. Sit back down. You are too young to rule, and because of that, your city is not as well protected as you would hope so. My suggestion would be that after this attack is all done, a new form of council runs this city. One that consists of myself, Casero here, and you. Obviously, this would make it easy to vote on new things for the town, and we wouldn't have to let a child destroy our home. Lord Barton starts to move forward towards Martillo. You come into my palace, and you start talking trash and tarnish my name, and you don't think I'm going to do anything about it? And as he holds up his hands, you notice all the guards put their hands on their weapons. And Martillo, I would think that a child would get ruffled up at such insults, but that is okay. He puts his hand on Lord Barton's shoulder. If you do not accept these terms, then the Martillo family, all of my men, all of my shopkeepers, will leave town. Oh my god, Jeff.
You alright?
You okay?
Jeff! What the fuck is he doing?
He's
Mute
clearly.
yourself.
You might want to server mute him.
Dog!
I did mute Jeff. Alright, anyway, where was I?
Are you alive?
Is he back? Jeffrey.
I thought I was muted.
No, you were definitely not muted.
I brought a bag of chips.
Yeah, you did. A killer bag
It
of chips.
sounded like a whole bunch of wood just like crumbled and you fell or something.
Yeah, that was definitely chips.
Anyway, he yes, all of my people will leave the city, and we will watch as it gets burned, as it gets pillaged from afar. I will not lift a finger if you continue to rule. Casero kind of looks at Martillo. Wait, what do you mean you want me to help you run it? He looks over to Casero. I know we have been at each other's throats for many, many years, mainly because of family differences in the past. But it is time to put that aside. I see your worth, and I think that you and I together, with Lord Barton, can make this city great again. Cue Donald Trump.
Yeah, make
campaign
Cragstorm great
2020. Also kidding. Anyway, he takes his hand off of the shoulder of Barton. As far as I can tell from your request recently of more funds, you, even with Casero's men, will not be able to overcome this attack, no matter how light or how large it is. So I will give you a day to come back with me with a reply, and if it is not what I want to hear, you can say goodbye to the Martillo family, as you have probably wanted for a while, but at the wrongest of times. And he turns to Firo. Tell the men to be ready to leave town at my beck and call. And Firo sort of nods his head. Yeah, can do. And he proceeds
We
to run out.
may not have a day to wait.
Regardless, I have contacts all over the country. There is an army. I can guarantee this. They are probably 2 days' march. But, Barton, you have less time than that to get ready. And he starts to walk away. No one stops them as they go, and they exit. And Casero kind of looks at Barton, and he's super red in the face. Casero, what do you think we should do? I think you should take his offer. Otherwise, if he is right, and I know Martillo, he's not usually wrong. If he is right, then yeah, I'd have to die here with the city. I'm not going to leave it, but Martillo's not even really from here, so he doesn't really care. So what could it hurt, you know? Amiria, or Lord Barton looks to Amiria. Amiria, can you go get some parchment and stuff? I've got stuff we've got to work out with this agreement, but I need time to think about it. Yes, sir. I will come back after I bring Adeline to my tower. Yeah, yeah. And he sort of just starts to walk away. He's kind of sulking, but pondering and worried about the oncoming future. As he sits down and he's got this worried look, he's like, all of you are dismissed. Please leave. And Amiria and Casero sort of nod their head and start to back out. And I would assume everyone else follows.
Before I walk out, I just one last thing before I head out. The
Yeah.
spiders are allied with this being that plans to attack. We need to somehow block off access from the sewers. The spiders are weak to fire. If we can somehow set up traps for them.
Amiria walks over to you. I think I will be able to handle that with Braden. Um, I think Lord Barton's got some things to think about, so
Very
Bart
well.
and Lord Barton, yeah, do what you gotta do. Please protect our city. Thank you. What was your name again?
I am Oswald.
Thank you, Oswald. I apologize for my unkind words to Siege. Please do not take offense.
Oswald will give a slight nod and be on his way.
Okay. And with that, everyone files out of the area. And as you guys,
As
oh, what do you?
as Dario and Shadow turn to leave, a whole head of hair, Dario's newfound wig, like sort of just falls off of his head.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know
there's
if you,
just
I
a
don't know if
patch
you've
of
been,
black.
I don't
I
know
have
if you've
not,
been
no.
reading chat.
I would assume that Dario, if he allows this,
Okay.
yeah, he's got a head of hair.
He had a
Sure,
head of
why
hair.
not? I
but
have more
it's
hair now.
Not very well constructed, so like if he moved, then it would just fall off.
Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of exit. Martillo and Firo are nowhere to be seen. But Casero goes, "Well, never thought I'd see the day when Martillo wanted to team up with me. Brings a tear to my eye." And you watch, he has no tears in his eye. Anyway, I guess I've got to go and get my men ready as well for an oncoming attack. Oswald, you said your name was?
Yes.
What information do you have of these undead critters?
Hey, give me 1 second.
Got him.
Right.
I don't believe you ever asked any specifics from Siege, so your
Probably not.
information would be limited.
I know not of the undead. I have not encountered them myself.
Alright, then what about the spiders? All of you fought them, right?
These spiders are not to be trifled with. Our group, we have faced combat rather often, and these spiders, only 3 of them, almost killed us. And yet there's a cavern full of them below the sewers.
Well, my men got plenty of fire. We've got plenty of power too, but... Yeah, Amiria. You know of this location, right? And she nods her head. Yes, I actually journeyed down there with my apprentice, and that's when we found Shadow here. More than likely, we could probably somehow tear the cavern down, like blow it up to where it would be unlikely for them to burrow their way out of there, and they would have to either A, find a new exit, or B, come an additional route to get to us.
I
Casero,
suggest
go
that
ahead.
perhaps we do try to close down the cavern to prevent them from escaping. However, we should have fire traps throughout the sewers and perhaps throughout parts of town in case they do find their way here, that we can still be prepared to counter them.
Very well. If you don't mind, my men and I will take care of trapping the sewers. Although, are the sewers even safe right now?
It
Not worth a damn, my dude.
It seems spiders are
actually-
trying to create illusions and lure people down there to infect them.
Yes, Shadow and I just warned a bunch of city folk that against a bit of figured like gold that they saw in the sewers. We were able, Shadow was able to put a mage hand down there and make sure to prove that it was fake, and we got them to tell everyone else don't go into the sewers. But yeah, they'll probably come up through there, and we need to get that guard off, trapped and such. So be careful anywhere near those sewer exits and entrances.
All right, very well. I'll get my men right on it, and honestly, we should be able to take care of ourselves down there if we do come into contact with these spiders. But we won't venture off too far, and we'll just get ready to make our way to the main tunnel you were talking about. Does that sound good?
Yes,
They are very big.
I would suggest not splitting up at all, and make sure that you have the ability to use fire before setting up the trap in case you encounter them.
Very good, very good. Emiria, pleasure as always. And he sort of tilts his head, and she nods back at him. I've got work to do, and he walks out of the palace and starts heading to who knows where. Meanwhile, Emiria looks to the rest of you. Well, since you guys know more about these spiders than I do as of right now, I suggest that you guys maybe go and try to figure out ways to block off that tunnel. I'm going to do some research on Adeline and see if maybe we can find the location of that spider egg that's in him and hopefully get it out. If that is okay with you, Adeline. I assume Adeline sits there silently and just nods?
Probably.
Alright. Quiet
yeah,
means yes.
just a nod. Yeah.
Very good.
With
as
like
for the
pleading, guys.
Okay, good.
See, maybe that's what the Spider Queen thought, because when you're quiet, you're still giving off consent.
Oh my god.
Silence does not equal consent.
What the fuck, dude?
2, 3, 4, and anyway.
Very well, and I guess we have to see if Barton accepts Martillo's help, and if he does, well, that'll be fun to deal with afterwards, but, alright, Adeline, if you would, come with me. The rest of you, good luck. And she starts walking up her tower, Adeline following closely behind her.
Willingly, yes.
The rest of you, as you're hanging out, we go back to Jeff, Acta, and Demi. What are you guys doing?
We were gonna do some errands.
Depending on what was the closest store, I want to visit the stores.
Okay.
I'm just along for the ride.
Honestly, I think the Martine's, the alchemist outside is closest.
Yeah.
Let's go there first.
Let's go there.
I want me a silent
What?
scroll.
Hold on. Do you have a paper to get into the city? Back into the city?
What paper to get back into the city?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, she would not have the papers because she was abducted into the city.
I look to
I'm an illegal alien.
Okay. Well, let's save that one for last then. Let's stay in the city. We can go to... Where's M&M Enchanters then?
They are in this building right here. And then the herbalist is right over here. Willow.
Let's go there. Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So you guys walk into the middle of the town square, up to M&M Enchanters. And as you're walking to the store itself, you notice that all the windows are black. You cannot see through them for whatever reason.
I go up and knock on the door.
As you knock on the door, a few moments pass by and you hear an audible click. And the door sort of swings open just barely.
Oh, I like this place already.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty badly wounded at the moment. So I can't really go forward first, and I've expended a bunch of my spell slots.
Octa will go first.
I will stand 20 feet back from the door. And before you go in, you don't have your... Do you still have your sitting stone?
Octa would have all her possessions.
Okay.
So I should. So we can do the telepathic thing.
Yes, and I think to you, I'm gonna stand a little bit back here, and then I forget what is Kirsten's character's name again?
Demi.
Demi. I look to Demi and say, we should stay back here first.
Okay.
So Octa, braving the darkness before you, opens up the door, and as the door opens, there is a tall, white figure with arms outstretched. Ooh! It looks like a ghost. And as it stands there, Octa kind of just stands and like tilts her head, like what the fuck? And then afterwards, the gnome boy on the very bottom picks up the thing. Oh, you weren't scared?
Not in the slightest, little kid.
Oh.
What are you doing?
It didn't work, guys. And you hear an audible from 4 children. Aww. And so you watch as this figure like flows towards the back, and they all sort of jump off of each other and unmove or remove the white blanket from their head. They wave their hands, and the windows are see-through again, and the lights come back on. Well, that was a funny one, but it didn't work.
Octa thinks back to
GF.
Octa thinks, yeah, come on in. It's just some kid.
Demi
like that
starts slow clapping from the performance.
Oh, she liked it. Yeah, we like her. Pale white woman.
All right, now we've actually come to do some business. Where's the owner?
Dad!
Where's your dad?
And they shout, and they all run to the back. And then all of a sudden, you see the gnome with his gray hair all in various locations. He comes out. Hey, Jeff, my favorite customer.
Hey, Martine, how's it going?
Ah, doing good. How have you been?
Not too bad.
Days.
Well, I actually been better off, but I cough a little bit. I'm a little bit in pain.
Does he accept Imperial credits?
I've actually come to get something appraised by you. Have you look at it. I'm sure you've come across a lot of magical items, so you probably be able to discern like what they are.
Oh yeah, I've got spells of all sorts to do stuff like that. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
How many items you got?
Let's see. I pull out the water skin and the boots.
Okay, so
and the spider silk.
All right, so you hand him those 3 items, and he touches them all. As he grabs the spider silk, nothing magical about that, just some really nice looking silk. You could probably make a nice robe or something out of that.
Okay.
As for everything else, yeah, I definitely got some magic senses from it. Give me a moment, would you?
Sure.
And so he puts the items on top of his little what is it? The bar, I guess, where he does his business. And you watch as the blue magic from his hands, he starts swirling it around, and he casts Identify. Oh, yeah! These are definitely magical items. Where'd you find these?
Well, not to alarm you, but under the city.
Like in the sewers?
Under the sewers. They're,
Under the sewers? How do you go under the sewers? The sewers is like the deepest you can go.
Do you know how old the city is?
A couple 100 years, something like that.
It's a bit older. There was a city before the city.
How do you know? How do you figure that?
Oh, I read it in a book somewhere recently.
Interesting. Very cool.
But yeah, there's some ruins down there, and they aren't quite safe. So hence why I'm a little bit banged up.
Very good, very good. Well, yeah. So the 2 items you gave me here, this one right here, he puts the water skin back in your hand. This is a decanter of endless water. It's pretty cool, actually. So it pretty much will give you water unlimited amount of times throughout the day. And
okay.
He goes over it with you. You can produce a stream if you say stream. So it uses like a magic word or something like that. If you say stream, it'll produce a gallon of water. If you say fountain, it produces 5 gallons of water. If you say geyser, it produces a bunch of typing that I can audibly hear.
Yes.
Just kidding. If you say geyser, it'll produce 30 gallons of water that gushes forth and ends up like tripping people up. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Oh wow, that's not a good copy paste job.
Oh dear.
I will send this to you in a private message as to hope that it is better. There it goes, yeah. So that is what it does.
Okay. Interesting. I put it on my person.
Very good, very good. And yeah, these boots here, let me look one more time. So he has to cast Identify each time for the items, but these are boots of false tracks. So only humanoids can wear the boots, and while wearing it, you can choose to leave tracks of another humanoid your size behind instead of your own.
Okay.
Sounds pretty cool, right?
Yes, definitely.
I could see a lot of mischief from my kids with this one.
I could definitely see that. They do like to play around.
Alright, so there's
I put
that
the
as
boots
well.
on.
Alright, so you put the boots on, and yeah, you can definitely tell that if you think to yourself like what humanoid tracks you want to leave behind, that'll be left behind.
Like I think gnome.
So you think gnome, and you start walking around, and you look, and like you're leaving tiny little scuffed footprints on the floor. Hey, look, they work already.
Interesting.
You're
Look
a
at that.
natural. Swear to
So
God, if you get me in trouble with those.
No.
though.
And I switch them back to human.
Very good, very good.
So how much do I owe you?
10 gold will be fine.
Okay. And then I flick him 10 gold.
And he grabs it with his mage hand as it flies through the air. Yeah, I appreciate your business. Anytime you
thank
got magical items, I'll decipher them for 5 gold apiece. How about that?
Sounds good.
Special deal for my friend Jeff.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce you to Eka and God damn it. Demi.
Demi Lovato, I heard of you. I'm kidding.
Demi Flint, sir.
Demi Flint, nice to meet you. And he holds out his little gnome hand to you, and then he holds it out to Octa.
Octa needs no last name, but it's quite nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I shake his hand back.
So I guess, yeah, the rundown, this is Eminem Enchanters, me and my lovely wife, who's in the back doing some stuff with the kids. We run this place. We're pretty good with magics and stuff like that. You need anything enchanted, we can do it for you. You just gotta know exactly what you want happening. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, I saw a neat little trick the other day. I was hoping you could duplicate for me.
Oh yeah, I can certainly give it a try. What you got?
It looks like you put a rune on a piece of paper and it surrounds you in silence. Do you know how to do?
Huh. Let me guess, Firo did that?
That's the one.
Yeah, I could probably do something like that. Cost you about 50 gold or so.
I can spare it.
Alright, it'll take me until the end of the day to finish it. I got no other work, so I'll get working on it right away if that's okay.
That's perfect. Thank
you
you,
want to pay
sir.
now or later?
Might as well do it now.
Very good. So you pull out 50 gold and hand it to him. Is there anything else you fine folk need? Any questions?
I look over to Demi and say, is there anything you need?
Nothing for me. I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Oh,
Well,
actually, I pull out the cloak, the spirit cloak we got in the forest, and I ask him to identify this.
he grabs it. Yeah, I'm not really picking up no magic from it.
Okay.
Where did you find it, though?
Remember?
It's kind of gloomy.
Remember how we went to the forest?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
We stopped it from being dark and menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something attacked us and was wearing this.
Huh. Did you notice this embroidered boar on the back? It's like
I
gold
did.
rimmed and stuff like that. That seems like some type of symbol for something, huh?
I pull out my white robe from way back when at the warhead, kind of like this. Do you
Oh
recognize this
yeah,
at
it's
all?
perfect. Like it's 2 peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm. Do you recognize the symbol at all?
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever seen it. No.
Okay. Well, thanks for this, and I hand him 5 gold.
Oh, appreciate it.
I have a question on one item. Could you Could you make something for me that would increase my strength or endurance?
More than likely, yeah. But like how powerful you trying to get?
Well, I need to know like the stages of the increment of coin it would acquire for each. Like, what's the lowest? What does it start off at for like a ring or a belt of something to make me more beefy, so I don't go down as much.
Oh, so something to make you to where if you get hit multiple times, you can take the hit.
Yes,
You mean
Yeah.
kind of like me?
a little bit.
Octa snickers a
So
little bit.
you just
then
need
looks at something else.
you just need some more constitution then, huh?
Potentially, or strength, but let's start with the Constitution.
Yeah, I'm sure that we could do something like that for you, but it won't be cheap, that's for sure.
I just need to know like the starting price.
I could see to slightly increase it, probably about 750
Okay.
gold, of course. If you
Mhm.
want to double that, 1,500. If you want to do, I don't know if I can go any further than that, but
Same thing with
I could
strength.
give it, yeah.
Okay, I don't really have that much on me, but just for future reference.
Okay, very good. Well, if there's
think that's
nothing
all for
else you
now.
got, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get
Thank you,
started
thank
on
you.
this scroll. Octa, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, whenever you get time later tonight, probably around 5 o'clock, I should have this done for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you then. And he starts to walk away.
I'm good here.
Octa
So,
turns to...
Go ahead, Oswald.
would our party be heading back in that direction as they've been doing this, or was this happening at the same time as the meeting?
Yeah, what they're doing right now is happening at the same time as the meeting that you guys were in. So I think after they go to Willows, on their way back, they would run into you guys.
All right.
Because you guys head to the herbalist next, correct?
Yes.
So
Hello, friend.
Oh, what are you saying, Eka?
Octa needs to know how she can get papers to get back into the city.
Oh, there was a doctor that was outside. His name was Dr. Gear. We did a run for him. We went to the forest and collected some Hydra teeth he needed for his test to see if we were tainted. That's how you get into the city after once you get out of the city. So honestly, it'd be easier just to stay here so you don't have to go through that. I don't know if we could just work something out with the Grand Wizards to force her to give the doctor. She might be able to.
I think I'll head down to the tavern and wait for you to finish your errand.
I mean, I'm going to the herbalist. This is mainly for Demi, because I believe the herbalist might be a druid, so she might be able to help. I don't know. Throwing some ideas out there.
Okay. I'll stay with Jeff because I can turn into a bird when he leaves the city and join him outside. Because that's how I got into the city in the first place. So he seems pretty injured, so I'm worried about him collapsing in the middle of the street.
Yes, I'm also going.
Definitely keep an eye on that guy.
Herbalist to get some potions as well. So I need to get healed.
All right, so you guys head over to Willow's herbalism area.
Oh, I told Demi to take off her shoes.
And so as you guys get closer, you notice that this is sort of the ground is made of grass. There's no like cobblestone or anything that's unnatural. There's like a walkway made of flat stones that head to a hut. Other than that, you see a bunch of different plants and garden elements all around this encased. It's encased by a bunch of thorny vines and such that interlace to make a fence. And you see this woman as she's tending to her flowers and stuff near the entrance of this like little grove area.
I explain as a courtesy. The shopkeeper likes it to be more natural, so she makes everyone take off their shoes as I take my boots off in my socks.
In Octa, you went to the tavern?
Yes, I did.
Cool. All right, so you take your boots off and leave them at the entrance, and then walk on in, and you can hear the gentle voice of Willow. Hello, Jeff. Nice to see
Hello,
you
Willow.
again.
Nice to see you as well.
You bring someone I have not met with before.
I do. This is Demi. Demi, this is Willow.
She stands up, and Demi, as you look in Willow's face, you can tell that her eyes are kind of glossed over, showing that she is in fact blind. Ah. And she takes a whiff of the air and takes like a sniff. And you are a druid, are you not?
I am. As are you?
Yes, yes, I am. I can tell. I can smell that you were a bird earlier.
I was.
It's always good to see another fellow druid in this town of city folk. What can I help you all with?
Well, I brought Demi here because her people are looking for potions that could potentially help them fight off beasts. And I'm here because I'm pretty badly hurt. I would like to buy some potions. Cough, bleed.
Yeah. Very well. I can more than likely assist both of you. How many potions were you looking at getting?
How much do they cost?
50 gold per easy to make potion, and I have about 4 of them ready to go.
Is this like regular healing potion or?
Yeah, it'd be the very standard healing potion.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take 3.
Very well.
So, yeah, 150 gold.
Okay, and you do the exchange. She pockets the gold. Is there anything else that you wanted?
I want to inquire about the myconid roots. Have you made any progress with those?
I have looked over them, but I have not been able to figure out exactly how someone was able to produce them to grow above ground.
Okay. Also, I'd like to ask, could you start making healing potions like in mass?
You mean like have them prepared for you to come and pick up as a special order?
Yes.
I could do that, but I would need you to pay for each potion ahead of time.
So the thing is, I don't have the money for it exactly, but I know someone who can pay for it. I would just... There's something coming that we might need to prepare for.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then yes, I could go ahead and stock up on them, and then...
More than likely, you'll be hit with a large order of potions, so you might need to prepare. City might be under siege soon, so...
Okay. Should I strengthen them up as well?
Yes, definitely do so.
I can do that. Just so you're aware, the potions that I did just make for you, those are 50 gold. The ones that are a step above would be 150 gold apiece.
I'm sure they'll pay for it.
Okay. I will be able to... I think I have enough materials to make 4 more of the minor ones and 2 of the larger ones as of right now. It would take me multiple days to brew more than that, but as of right now, that's what I can do.
Just get them ready.
Can do. Demi?
Yes.
Where do you hail from?
I hail from the north. Frostburn.
I have never been up there, but I've heard great things. How cold is it?
Well, when you wake up in the morning, there's frost everywhere, and your snot freezes, so there's that.
Doesn't sound like it's very comfortable for those that are used to the southern weathers.
No, southerners don't normally visit unless they are there to trade.
That makes sense. Well, I'm glad that you made your journey down here safely. And if you ever need to talk about druid stuff or anything like that, I'm always available.
Yes, I do have a question right now. As Jeff mentioned, the main reason why I'm down south is because the tribal elders sent me to find ways to possibly turn our people into animals to help protect the tribes. Or potentially to see, do you know of any way to maybe turn humans into druids?
Unless you're born with the natural talent of a druid, I've never heard of anyone becoming one outside of that, but I'm sure there are potions out there that have been created to transform people to make it seem like they're a druid. From what I've heard from recent endeavors is that the Casero family has something like that, but I don't know how viable that is to what you're looking for.
Okay. Oh,
But yeah.
thank you for the help.
Yes, no problem. And if that is all, I need to go ahead and start brewing these potions. They should be done by tomorrow afternoon. You're muted, Jeff. I'm sure you're typing or something.
Yes,
But...
sounds good. Thank you.
And she smiles gently and nods her head, and then she goes around her various garden and starts picking certain herbs. Even though she's blind, you can tell that she has this whole area mapped out in her head, and this is definitely her home. She walks, there's like a little cauldron to the side of her hut, and she starts to pour water and various other alchemic supplies, gets a fire going using her druid craft, and starts to put everything in and letting it start to simmer and bubble and all that. By that time, you guys start heading back to the tavern, or towards the tavern, towards Martine. Once you get to about this location, that is when you bump into the rest of your party. Bureau's not here anymore.
Oh, hello there.
She seems a powerful druid, but she wouldn't last very long in the north.
Yeah, her the vision is kind of an ailment she has. Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
Wait, are you guys at the tavern or just still on the streets?
Yeah, they're still on the streets. So Octa is in the tavern hanging out.
Just kidding. I take it all back.
But everyone but Adeline. Adeline is still at the place. So Oswald, Dario, Shadow, Dief, and Demi all meet up in the streets.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
How'd your meeting go?
Well enough. All three families are aware of the situation.
Okay.
However, it seems the Lord Martillo wants the Bartons to step down from leadership and instead form a more like a circle, a democracy between the three.
Okay.
And if he doesn't agree, Martillo is going to leave the city.
Oh, I mean, I guess I can see that. He does own like most of the city.
It seems Casero and Barton are okay with this change in leadership, so they'll more than likely write a letter, and Martello will more than likely stay and help defend.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure they're fine with it. It legitimizes their power instead of just being implicit and in the shadows. They actually have real upfront political power instead of, subtle political power.
Those in power have a hard time sharing, though. I wouldn't trust the one who says he'll share his power.
Yeah.
For now, I think them agreeing and saving or defending the city is more important than worrying about the current leadership. Because if they don't fight together, they'll all be dead. At that point, there will be no leadership.
Yeah, we need to convince them to stop.
Well, there will be leadership, but it won't be them.
Right. But leadership we don't want to be here.
Spider leadership.
Yes.
Were you able to accomplish much on your end?
I met with Firo and informed him of. I told him to keep people out of the sewers. I informed him about the attack impending, and apparently
Are
Firo.
you guys walking and talking to the tavern, or just standing there?
I'm just standing there.
Okay.
Like idiots.
He might collapse.
Carry him.
I also
He
wanna.
just got a bunch of potions.
I also want to think to them when I say this. I also learned that Firo is he's from the time of Nagex. Like he's been able to stay alive from that long. He didn't really mention why, but apparently that book you had, Oswald, he wrote that down. And
Did he now?
It was pretty much a warning to try to pass on some form of information to like the next person in case he couldn't.
Well, I'll need to speak to him.
Yes, of course. He didn't
Well, I
know
have
much.
this other book. He may perhaps be able to read it.
And then he also mentioned Bellolite. So.
What is Bellolite?
Oh,
I
just.
think he is aware more than what he tended to be.
Yes, I think too. Shadow. It's just an organization that's was made way back in time in Nagex to try and stop her.
Oh.
And then
Who's
but
Nagex
yes.
again?
Oh, just the scary lady that
Oh,
was
right,
this fight.
that
Yes,
person
that saw us.
with the lack of
eventually.
clothing.
Yes.
Demi starts edging her way towards the tavern because they've all been awkwardly quiet for a long time.
Sorry about that, Demi.
Yes, the
That's
official
beautiful.
intro to the group. Congratulations.
Yeah. 'Cause whenever they're like, I think to them and they talk long, like I just imagine them all kind of just staring with their head lopsided.
Yeah, they're all just kind
They
of
nod
awkwardly
their head
staring at
and-
each other in the crossroads. So Demi's gonna go drink.
No, I guess I'll need to mention it more often, but usually Oswald tries to look occupied with something.
Yeah.
Like normally I have a book that I'm looking into while I'm using the sending stone.
But yes.
Excuse me, new friend. Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna go find Octa and have a drink. Seems like the world's ending, so
Well, that's fair. Can I come with?
yes,
If
please
we have
do.
anything to say about it.
Eh.
Oh, before I forget,
Yes.
do you know of a way or who can identify items?
Oh, M&M Enchanters. He does it. He identified what this flask and these boots were. These boots cover my tracks with something else. That's not me. And this is a never-ending water flask, so I can essentially just always have water. That was interesting.
Also, Jeff, just so you're aware, you do have Identify as a ritual spell, and you can do it yourself.
Say what?
Got him.
No, I don't have Identify. I have Detect Magic. I'm pretty sure I've.
I just looked at your sheet. You have
Oh.
Identify as your first level spell.
Oh, okay.
So when you were doing that, I was like, I guess he's doing it to be quick, but
Honestly, I thought I just had Detect Magic. Sure.
no, you've got both. So you can identify it yourself. You don't have to have the spell prepared if you use it as a ritual. It
Okay.
just takes 10 minutes for each item.
Okay. I look for Oswald and say, oh, or I can do that myself. Yeah, I was just doing this to save time.
That's amazing.
I will. Now, was the book itself magical or just the card?
No,
in
it was just you couldn't read it because of the language. You don't know it. But the card in the book was magical as well as that amulet you had.
Yeah, I would hand him the amulet and the card to identify.
I can't do it right now, but I have to run to the herbalist outside the town, because I told him I'll give him these herbs from a few days ago, and I need to see my wife to be as well. So
when you get the chance,
yes. Do you want me to hold on to them now, or do you want to hold on to them?
they are of no use to me right now.
Okay, then I'll hold on to them then. Would you like to come with me to the herbalist outside?
I'm going to attempt to Firo with this information you've told me.
Okay. He is about out and about. He's preparing the town as best he can. Was he at the meeting with you guys?
He was there, yeah.
Okay. Did he seem to know? I told him as much as I could. Was he just? Did he learn anything else?
He was there listening.
Okay.
It was mostly the top members of each house that were talking.
Okay. Well, I'll be back shortly. Okay. And I head off to the bordello.
Okay, so Jeff heads off to the bordello. The rest of you go to the tavern, or does
Yeah, I'm
Oswald-
gonna glance, see if he's, or not glance, I'll see if he's in the tavern first, and if he's not in the tavern, what time of day is it?
Right now, I would say it's getting around 1 in the afternoon.
Alright, if he's not in the tavern, I would probably scout through the Martillo half-cracked dorm, looking for him.
Okay, so yeah, you peer inside, and he's not in his usual place. Most of the thugs that usually hang out around here with him are also not there. There's some common folk that are in here for a drink at this point in time, but they don't seem to have any ties to Furo directly. And then do you just walk on out and start hunting them down?
Yeah, I'd let the party know that I'm off to look for Furo and then be on my way.
Okay. Alright.
Whether they want to join or not.
Okay, so yeah, Oswald tells you guys, I'm gonna go find Furo. I'll be back eventually, and then he goes ahead and heads out. If anyone wants to follow him, just put your token by his. Let me get Octa's token. That way we can keep track of where everyone's at. Am I missing anyone? No. All right.
Right, micromanagement.
Yeah. Going back to Adeline, as you guys get to the top of the... Oh, wait, he's not even here.
Meanwhile, in the tower.
Bill.
Bill.
Bill, are you there?
Billiam.
Yes, Billiam, dear.
All right. Well, I guess Bill's not there. So disregard. We will go and do other things. What do you guys do as you are in the tavern hanging out?
Well,
obviously.
I see you guys talking. Would that have been pretty much your role play that you were doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like it could.
Octa and Demi are bonding over drinks, and I decide that I think I want to try and arm wrestle her.
Before I actually let you arm wrestle me, I do tell you the story about how I arm wrestled the burliest guy in the bar who beat everybody in town all the time.
Did you get a belt for that?
Did I get a what?
Like a champion belt?
Yeah.
No.
No. But everybody bought me drinks afterwards. It was real fun.
Nice. Mama didn't raise no weakling. I still want to try it.
All right, let's do this.
Woo!
Alright, so you guys kind of clear the table. Octa puts her elbow down, and you watch as the strength that she puts down to sort of anchor herself, it kind of leaves a little dent in this wooden table, and you're like, God damn. She holds out her hand.
The next round?
Yeah.
Great. I hope you enjoy buying me the most expensive drink in the bar.
Okay,
Name it now because you might not be able to talk later.
What is the most expensive drink in the tavern?
Dragon's Blood wine.
Perfect. I want some dragon's blood.
It is 3 gold a glass.
Shadow's just watching this wide-eyed, like, shit. what's going on?
So, as you guys get prepared, you both put elbows onto the table. You grab each other's hands firmly. I take it Shadow would help referee.
Shadow has no fucking idea what an arm wrestling match is.
Dario probably does. So Dario gets up at the side of the table and he holds both of your hands and tells you guys he wants a good, clean arm wrestle match. No cheating.
I was in the pisser. I'm back.
No, okay. You're the referee for this arm
clean.
wrestle match.
Okay. All right. Want a clean match, etc., etc. Don't, kill anyone, etc., etc. And let's get.
So literally the only rule is don't kill anyone?
Oh no.
Clean match.
Clean match, something, don't, because we got stuff to do later. So don't break anything, like anything, because like this is not a time and place to have serious injuries when we're about to fight like an undead army. But have fun with it.
I will try not to break people. I can't guarantee the table's safety.
Whatever. I'm
Agreed.
no one to judge, so you just go.
All right, so
And go.
so at this point, I need Octa and I need Demi to both do a strength roll. Just straight
Okay.
strength.
Which one's that? Sorry, Brady.
So when you click on your character sheet, if you look to the left, you'll see. Oh, you need to be on the core. So if you look to the left, you'll see all your like strength, dexterity, constitution scores. You'll just click on
Yes.
the word strength, and that'll roll it.
Okay.
And then, so we'll do. It'll pretty much be a best out of 3. Oh wow, your first roll of the game. All right, so Octa and Demi are after Dario lets go. Octa kinda, she's like, I've beaten a Dragonborn before. This little half-elf girl's not gonna do nothing. So she kinda just allows you to start moving her arm, and as she's like, all right, that's enough, she starts to try to pull back, and then she's like, shit. Currently, Demi is winning. Go ahead and roll strength again.
Oh man.
So as Octa is noticing that, yeah, the past few days have been really tough for her, but she's starting to feel a little more rested. She starts to fight back and is able to put the arms back about to the middle. Go ahead and roll strength again.
Curious, would this not be or athletic?
No.
What?
So as she gets back, she's like, okay, cool, we got this. We've beaten a Dragonborn before, we got this. And then all of a sudden, Demi just starts to, like, you can see the fierceness in her eyes as she starts to bring it back down. Your impending doom coming up back on you. One more strength roll. Octa is able to hold it for just a moment and starts to bring it right back up just a little bit. Final strength roll. As Octa takes in a breath and starts to really put all her strength into it, Demi lets go just a little, and Octa's like, okay, cool. As Octa starts to relax a little bit, you see the ferocity as Demi opens up her eyes and smacks your hand down onto the table. And as she does it, she transforms into a bear. Oh! I'm just joking. She doesn't do that. If she specifically said she did that, then that would happen. But otherwise, yeah, you smack Octa's hand onto the table. And it's not enough to break the table as Octa did, but Octa kind of goes, man, I just need a little more time to rest, it seems. But Demi is the winner.
Woo-woo!
Octa's looking at the table, kind of crestfallen a little bit, and then she looks up, beaming at Demi. All right.
I look forward to my drink. Thank you.
So Octa, go ahead and deduct at least 3 gold. If you want a glass yourself, deduct 6.
Yes, please join me.
Absolutely.
All right, so go ahead and deduct 6 then, as the barmaid comes over and hands you both a really nice, strong glass of wine.
Cheers to a beginning of a new wonderful friendship.
Here, here. Clink.
Clink.
Yeah, so it's about 2 o'clock at this point when you guys start to drink your glasses. Is Dario and Shadow doing anything specific?
Just hanging out, really. Enjoying
Going out,
the
acting a lot
scene.
more cool.
Okay, we will go on to Oswald then. Oswald, you're just walking around, correct? Looking for Furo?
Correct. I'm trying to see where preparations are being made, if Firo's out there helping, assisting.
Okay, so your intuition would lead you to looking around Casero's estate first, which pays off because as you get over there, you see a lot
You mean
of. Or
Martillo's
yeah,
estate?
Martillo's estate. Yeah, my bad. Thank you. You get to Martillo's estate and you see a lot of gentlemen, a lot of thugs kind of hanging out around that area. All of them are brandishing new swords and such. As you walk up, the guard goes, Martillo's been looking for you. And he opens up the door. He's waiting for you.
All right. Oswald just will walk in, not
Alright.
say a word.
Yeah, as you walk in, you're in that familiar room with the one fireplace on the one side of the building and the two double doors that Martillo has his office are currently open and you can hear people talking. As you walk over, you see Martillo as he is sort of scribbling stuff down onto some parchment and he's currently talking to Firo. Firo's standing there. Yeah, so what's the whole plan with this new government type thing, huh? What's your end game here? Martillo goes, we have guests. You notice that Martillo doesn't even look up, but he understands that your presence is entering the room. Firo looks around. Oh shit, Oswald, how you doing?
Could be doing better.
Couldn't we
His
all?
armor's probably still bloody and everything. He probably didn't have time to, clean it much.
What can we do you for, pal?
Oswald's gonna glance around first, see if is it just them two?
It's them two, and then outside there's a couple different thugs. You're watching as they're sort of emptying out one of the rooms. There's a bunch of different weaponry in there: crossbows, regular bows, longbows, swords, shields, axes, all types of stuff. So, but as you walk into the room with Martillo, it's just Martillo and Firo. But the door is open, so they're watching as these guys are emptying this room of weaponry.
What I am about to talk about may not want others to hear.
Very well, go ahead and close the door, Firo. Firo nods his head. He goes out there and closes the doors inward. You watch as he takes out a scroll from his pocket, places it on the door, and swipes at it. And then all of a sudden, a blue bubble surrounds all of you in this room. We can speak freely here. Only our ears will hear it. What do you want to talk about?
Well, for starters, he looks to Firo as he says this. I hear you've been alive for a rather long time.
And you're saying that to Firo?
Yeah, I'm looking to Firo as I say this.
Oh, well that's concerning, as I told our friends not to talk about it, but okay. What's it to you?
Do you understand the language that they spoke at that time?
Yeah, it's a ancient elven dialect. It's long forgotten, as most of those elves were kind of either killed off or, tried to change their ways as much as they could so that they wouldn't be remembered as monsters.
Well, when we were down in the caverns, we came across a skeleton of a body who had a few magical items on him as well as his book.
Oh.
And as I'm saying that, I pull out the book to hand to Firo.
Okay, so you hand it to him. He's like, oh yeah, that's definitely the ancient elven dialect for sure. And you said you just found this down there? Bill,
on
are you
his
back?
corpse.
Bill is back, cool. Anyway, yeah, on his corpse, you say?
Yeah.
Cool. Huh. He opens it up. Looks to be some sort of journal. Looks like this, yeah. As he's reading, he's flipping through the pages rather quickly. You watch his eyes scanning through it. He's like, yeah, this is a journal of some, looks like some shady person. He would go around, he would gamble, he would take people, or he would take people's money and stuff like that. He won various items, all that kind of stuff. Huh. Looks like he came into contact with some magical items throughout his journey. And eventually, says here, on one of his last days, when he was just about to return home to his beloved, he had won an amulet or something like that from some woman at a table. And he could tell that there was some sort of magical presence to it. He didn't understand it, but he wore it because it was quite lovely, I guess. And I'm assuming, did he have that amulet with him?
He did, yes.
Yeah, that's more likely this amulet he talks about here, and he points at the book. He's like, well, anyway, it took him about a week to get back to his beloved, and he said that more than likely, because he cheated that game to win that amulet, and I think more than likely the person that he cheated in that game against somehow knew it, and they cursed him for it. So then he realized that for whatever reason, he couldn't be understood by the opposite sex. And he goes on to realize that anytime he spoke to a woman, it just sounded like gibberish. It was nothing. They couldn't comprehend what he said, but men knew what he was talking about. Really weird. That's honestly a terrible curse. I'm probably going to put my gambling set away after that.
Is that it? Just a personal diary?
Yeah, it's just a personal diary. He pretty much walked from all around the main ocean here, it looks like, visiting various towns and settlements along the way, and he would hustle people for their gold and stuff to continue on his travels. And in one town, yeah, he found a lovely woman that he said that he was going to find something real nice for, come back and then propose, but I guess the proposal didn't go too well.
Well, that book is rather useless then.
Yeah, seems like it's more meant for, well, probably nothing. But the items you got, probably worth something for sure.
Well, Jeff currently has them. I was going to have them identified.
Very good. Well, I know Jeff, he's got his way with magic, that's for sure, so.
Also, I hear you're already aware of Bellolite.
Yeah, I've had my run-ins with them in the past, so long time ago, but I guess they're still around, huh?
Yes, I happen to be a member of Bellolite.
Oh, wow. And let me guess, you're tailing these guys to try to get them to join too?
That's part of what I'm doing, yes.
Very good. I mean, they seem like proper candidates. As a would-be candidate myself, I'm much like them. I didn't really want to be part of something super structured as such, but I did want to fight evil, so I think that they're following my footsteps in a way, but not to the T, you know what I mean?
Perhaps there could be a way to work it out as a freelancer.
Probably. I mean, that's what I did. Like, when they needed some extra muscle, they called me. But, what is Bellolite doing as of right now to stop Nagex? Do they even know that she's back?
The inner circle should be aware. Siege is aware of it, and I'm sure that he informed the others, though those on the outside more than likely may not be aware.
Huh, interesting. Well, I'm sure eventually they'll call their council meeting or whatever, and then they'll all discuss their how they're gonna go about the situation. I mean, from what Jeff was told me, she's only been back for probably about a month or so, so more than likely she's still regaining power, definitely rebuilding her army, and it looks like she thinks that Cragstorm's the sweet spot to bolster her numbers. But as long as everything goes well with the Bottons, as you heard earlier, we should be able to combat that pretty easily, right, sir? And he looks over to Martillo, he's like, yes, I am not too worried about this Nigix, or undead even. But, as long as Barton agrees to my terms, we should be fine.
I'm sure they will agree after you left. Casero and Barton appeared like they were going to go forward with it.
Very good, very good. Well,
And
I'll go ahead.
you should probably be worried about the army. Siege had 5,000 men at his fortress, and only an eighth of the army survived. The
Oh,
rest
wow.
are either dead or turned undead.
You're kidding me, right?
Negative.
Because, I mean, the whole population of Cragstorm's only like 4,500. And that's probably 50% of that is just common folk that don't even know how to wield a pitchfork.
Yes, I would be very worried. We trying to spread the information around to have defense set up immediately, and I think it would be for the best to try to evacuate the common folk out, for they will simply be turned into undead since they won't be able to fight or defend themselves.
Yeah, you got a point there. Because, I mean, even if we do somehow destroy this army that's coming at us with that amount of folk, if all the common folk are dead, then what's the rule? Martillo is still scribbling down on his parchment. I'm not too worried about it still. I feel like our combined efforts with the Casteros and their dogs, we should be perfectly fine in taking down undead. Plus, we've got the city walls. We can attack from them from afar. And as long
And
as
we
they
also
don't... Go ahead.
let him finish that sentence.
And as long as they do not breach the gates, the only thing we will most notably lose is the filth that live outside.
We have an issue from the inside as well. Her army is aligned with the cavern of spiders that live below. The Caceros are working on setting up fire traps to help prevent them from coming up. However, I have no idea how efficient that will be. I don't know how many spiders live down there, but there are a lot, and they have the strength to take out multiple men by themselves. One spider can take out a group of men on its own just fine.
Martillo kind of stops writing as you're saying this, and he's paying close attention to these words.
For our group, we are experienced enough in combat. We faced 3 of these spiders, and we almost died right then and there.
Interesting. A spider that is strong like that. What raw power? Well, if that is the case, I would hate to see everyone die from the spiders before this undead army gets here. Firo, if you could procure the special packages for delivery. I'll do that right after this meeting, sir. Martillo grabs his inkwell and starts to write down some more on the paper. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, Oswald?
Yes, I heard. He also mentioned that you wrote the book that had been in the library.
Yeah, that's right. I wrote it in the ancient Elven script. Hopeful that someone would find it if Nagex ever came back, and then, well, she came back, and then here you are finding my book. Although I didn't have much detail, because I didn't have the resources that Bellalights got, but I did definitely find out that somehow Nagex split her power, and that something underneath the depths of the ocean was helped her achieve what she has now today, if that makes sense.
Do you know what she split her power into?
That I have no idea, honestly. I'm not too well versed in the world of magic and how arcane magics work and how you even get that powerful with it. But I do know that she was granted the power from something under the ocean. And then from there, she made it to where if one body died, another would take its place, and she could keep on doing what she does, if that makes sense. So essentially, you gotta kill her twice, is what I know. And even then, I don't even know if she's done it multiple times. Who knows?
That's troubling and concerning.
Very much so. She's, She's definitely one beefy bitch.
And then I look back to Martillo. You said you have scouts that have seen an army on its way already?
I have eyes and ears in all manner of locations, and yes, I have seen the destruction of Siege's fortress myself. The undead have grown in numbers. Their leader is not Nagex herself, but some troubling-looking wizard. He's got some special type of toxin that he uses to pretty much destroy cities from the inside out. So, whatever it is that he uses, we need to figure it out. We need to find out how to dissipate it if it does reach our city. And then from there, it should be no problem.
Well, I don't know who has the authority to evacuate the common folk, but it should probably be done immediately so they have more time to be away from here for the spiders or the undead army make a move.
It makes sense. More than likely, Lord Barton would be the one to make an official order. But the common folk, they look at me as a leader as well. I'm sure if I tell my men that it came directly from me, that they need to get as far away from Cragstorm for a few weeks, I'm sure they would leave. Firo, as well as the packages, deliver that message to the men, please. Oswald has a great idea. We do not want to have common folk become cannon fodder just to rise to have to fight. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense to me too, sir. I'll get right on it. Very good. Oswald, I am sure you've got lots to talk about, but he starts to roll up his scroll that he's made. Time is of the essence, though, and if the Caseros are indeed setting traps for the spiders, I feel like that is what we can prepare for as of right now. So maybe you can lend your assistance in cleaning out the sewers of anything. If not, if there's nothing there, then we will start to tell the common folk to get out of town for a little while, to keep them safe.
I will see what's in the sewers. And before I take my leave, the guard said you were expecting me. Was there something you wanted to speak to me about?
No, I just, I have grown to like you. I have grown to understand how you operate. And I had a sixth sense that you were coming. That is all.
I see. Well, I will go ahead and take my leave.
Very good. Firo. And he goes over to that scroll, swipes it, and you watch as the bubble dissipates. He rolls it up, puts it back in his pocket, opens up the door. Firo walks out and starts talking to some of the men. You can tell that he's saying, hey, we need to go outside the city gates, tell people to start packing their stuff and get out of town for a little while. More than likely they can go, and he says, port towns to the east. Other than that, Martillo starts to walk out, following you, closing the door to his office, and makes sure that you leave his estate. As you guys get outside, he starts to walk towards the palace on his own. Where do you head?
I guess I will head back towards the tavern, probably to get some rest, and then once I'm healed up, begin assisting with like the sewers and stuff like that.
Okay. So you get back to the tavern. Jeff, you are at the bordello. Actually, Bill, you said you're back, right?
Holy shit.
That was really loud, but it was funny. I don't think Bill's there again. Oh well. Jeff.
Yes.
As you walk towards the bordello, that armored man is standing out there, in full plate, and he looks at you. It's been many days since you've seen your lovely wife.
Yes, it has. It's been a very trying few days, but I'm
sure it has, but you're a committed man now. You should know better.
Oh, true. Still
Regardless, you
learning.
have lots to learn, but go on in. No cover charge needed.
Well, thank you.
He opens up the door, and you walk in, and there's not as many patrons in there at this time. More than likely, a lot of the patrons that you did see were Casero's men, and now they
Mhm.
are tied up and doing stuff to protect the city. But you do see your Goliath wife to be at the bar, sort of doing what she does best, picking up large
Picking thing.
barrels and putting them
Putting them
down.
down.
And she sees
Okay.
you, and you see the shock in her face, and she's like, and then she runs up to you and grabs you and starts swinging you around with a big hug, almost bone crushing, but with love.
I hear some pops.
Yeah, she definitely pops a lot of your joints and such. Oh, Jeffrey, I was so worried.
I missed you too, dear.
Where have you been? Why have you not called? No
Well-
letters, no mail, no nothing, no trinkets, no presents. You promised these.
I did. Now let me explain. So I asked her, did she know about the forest?
I know
to
that
the
you do not go to forest. It
Well-
eats you.
I explained like everything we did in the forest.
You
to
got
her.
eaten by forest, but then you got out.
Yes.
Oh, my Jeff, so strong.
And then I explained about the feud that we stopped between the cities and between the two leaders,
Okay.
Casera and Martello, and talked about that. Tell her about the alchemist. Tell her about how we stopped the alchemist from conducting any more experiments.
Oh, wow,
Um,
Jeffrey. Jeffrey's so strong. He's so good at doing things to make sure everyone's safe. Make Olga happy.
Well, thank you. I try. And then I explain about the spiders underneath the city, and how we are all in the firing lines of two massive armies, coming to the city.
Oh, wow, how would you protect us from that one?
We're working with the Caseros and Martellos to try and evacuate. And I don't know that yet, but we're trying. I mentioned to Firo, yeah. So potentially evacuate and bolster the city before the armies come.
Well, how can Olga help?
Well, how about you come back with me to the tavern tonight, and I can meet Firo there, and he can probably. I mean, are you good at fighting? I'm assuming you come from a warrior tribe.
Well, you assume correct. Most Goliath fighters, but I am not fighter.
What? So, what is your exact specialty?
I am good at picking up large barrel.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming there's a lot of supplies and provisions that need to be moved around, so you could probably help with that.
Okay. Olga help is anytime she can. Her shift almost done.
Okay. I'm gonna make a run to. Well, meet me over the tavern when your shift's done. I'll be there by the time you get there. And before I leave, I reach for the sending stone rings, the two I just made for her and me, and I get down on my knee and I say I have a gift for her.
Okay. All right.
And I ask Olga. So Olga, will you will you marry me?
She puts her hands on her face. She's like, "Oh, my little Jeffrey! Oh, Jeffrey, yes!" And she puts out her hand for you to put the ring on her ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
And
I put it on.
You put it on, and you can see tears are starting. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually happening!" And she thinks to you, "Oh my god, it's so beautiful."
And I think back, yes, it is.
She hears this and kind of looks around. She's like, "Hold on, your mouth did not move."
This is a way for us to talk to each other. So just you and me can talk, so we don't get lost in.
How magical. And she pretends to faint very dramatically, but then she's like, "Yes, I accept. And after I am done working, I will meet you at tavern."
Okay. I ask for the drift glow back.
Yes, I'm sure you can find much more use of it. And she reaches into her pocket, very large pocket, and puts it into your hand.
Okay. Well, meet us at the tavern when you're done, and Tell her take care. Tell her I love her. Give her a kiss before I leave.
Okay. And then you head back to the tavern, right?
No, I gotta go to the herbalist outside.
All right. We're going to jump to Bill real quick since he's here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Bill, everything that they've done has transpired over like the last 2 hours. Your 2 hours before all this happens, as you walk up with Emiria to her mage tower. So you enter the mage tower, and Nishan is back, and he's getting some stuff done. You see a lot of blades, a lot of
What the fuck?
vials.
It just kicked me out. I'm back.
You see a bunch of blades, like daggers and stuff. You see a bunch of vials of what looks to be like medical alcohol, water, and a lot of gauze and cleaning supplies and stuff. Emiria walks in and looks to you. Do not be frightened, but like I said earlier, the best way to extract this egg would be through surgical procedure. Now, I will let you know, I have never done this before, not for this reason anyway, but I can guarantee that you are safe, and as long as you do not move too much, you should be perfectly fine.
Okay. Give me just a moment as I prepare. I am quite weak, and I'd like to spend the last 10 points of my lay on hands on myself to give me 16 health.
Very good.
Because
yeah.
I actually don't want to die, and
Makes sense.
I guess I will lie down on her operating
So
table.
she's got a table that she has cleared all the stuff off of in order for you to lay down. You take off all your armor to where you're just pretty much just like your clothy pants, because she doesn't need you to take those off or anything. As you lay down, she goes, to make this a little easier, I am going to put you to sleep, okay?
That is fine. Very reassuring.
Yes, and don't worry, I will make sure you wake up. But other than that, good night for now. And she casts the sleep spell on you, which would take effect at her level, especially because you only have 16 hit points.
Yeah, definitely.
So you fall asleep, and while you're asleep, you are having dreams of your goddess. You're having dreams of the spiders that you fought. You sort of, it almost feels as if you're having a vision, but you see your goddess as she is approaching you and trying to heal you based on the wounds that you received underground. You then watch as the form of the Spider Queen takes a hold of you and rips you away from her hand as she reaches out to try to grab you, but it's too late. You look up as the Spider Queen whispers into your ear various words that you don't understand. It's in a different language, and then sinks her teeth into your neck, and that's when you feel the searing pain in your neck. Almost like a Harry Potter with a scar kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
After a while, it goes forward, and you notice, like, your day-to-day activities, they don't really change. You see the passage of time as a couple weeks go through, and then all of a sudden, your vision goes to where everything's sort of coated in red after a few moments of not feeling well. You take out your glaive, and you start just hacking and slashing at those around you. Doesn't matter who they are, you attack them. After you go on this rampage for a few minutes, you fall to your knees as you watch your abdomen slowly start to pretty much peel away as little spider feet start to pop out of your abdomen, and you feel the life drain from you. After a few moments of this, you actually wake up sweating, bleeding profusely from your abdomen, but you see Emiria sitting there with a vial, and you see a tiny little egg inside of it as she is corking it. She pours some alcohol in it to preserve it, hands it to Nishan, looks at you. I was afraid that would wake you up, but we're almost done. Just hold still for me, okay? We have to sew you back up. You watch
I imagine that he'd be screaming in pain with his abdomen open and being awake.
Exactly.
Before anesthesia.
Yeah. So she takes her fingers, and you see it's pretty much like the firebolt spell, but she's using it very controlled, and she's able to sear a lot of the bleeding portions of your abdomen, and she kind of sears the whole thing shut, and it's excruciatingly painful. But as you're screaming, you try your best not to hold or not to move to make it to where she ends up not like messing up. And as you open your eyes, you all of a sudden see the shimmering glow of your goddess as she places her hand on you, keeping you from feeling the pain anymore as she finishes the rest of her surgery. Afterwards, you look, and your goddess smiles gently at you and then disappears. Amiria then, well, we are all done, and we got what we needed. Do you see it? And she holds it up to you so you can look, and it's think of a quail egg.
Oh,
It's
that's
pretty
pretty
much,
big.
yeah.
All right.
It's pretty big size, but this is only after a couple hours. I can only imagine how big and how painful that would get if we did not get it out sooner. But
Well, other than what you did, I did not have any pain yet. But I appreciate what you've done for me.
yes, you are very welcome. More than likely, only one egg gets laid in a person at a time. I would think that is so that the spider can actually feast on the host. So you should be good. I did not see anything else while I was inside of your abdomen. But it seems, for whatever reason, you were able to heal quite quickly without my assistance. So your goddess is definitely watching over you.
Yes, I think she has hope for me, though I know I have displeased her.
Well, you're young yet, and you'll have many, many days to gain her favor back. But other than that, I can officially deem you uninfected. No spider should be bursting out of your abdomen anytime soon, unless you get bit again.
I do not intend for that to happen.
And I do not hope to have to do this again, that's for sure.
May I lay here and rest and prepare?
Yes, take as much time as you need. Nishan and I will try to be as quiet as we can, but we do have work to do.
Bro, I just went through major surgery. I don't think that's gonna matter.
That's true. Does Adeline stay there for a long rest?
However, whether it be long or short, either one's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to do just a short rest for an hour and then get up and go to the tavern to meet everybody, that'd be fine. You would meet back up with them when
Sounds good.
Jeffrey's done at the bordello.
I am gonna roll one hit die then for that.
Yeah, go for it. And then take 2
Nice.
HPs.
Yeah, that's good. Back up to 26, baby.
Okay, so as Jeff is finished with the bordello, he starts walking towards the towards the outskirts of town. Are the rest of you just chilling in the tavern right now?
Yes.
Well,
I don't know what we'd be talking about, but yeah.
whenever Oswald gets back, he'd rest up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, Demi doesn't really know anything that's going on besides there's large spiders. So I think she's just waiting to hear what to do.
Okay.
Everybody needs to like have a powwow. This is what happened.
Yeah, so Jeff, we'll just do a real quick, what were you going to do at Martine's?
Give him the herbs that he requested if I went to the forest.
Okay.
And ask him, could I get anything for these?
And what are these? The herbs?
The 2.5 pounds of herbs from the forest. Like they were the herbs that he didn't have access to.
Okay. He would give you 10 gold for all of it.
Okay. Could I ask him? I'm telling him he needs to prepare health potions in mass.
He nods his head and says, "Yeah, sure. I've got plenty of supplies to make quite a few. They should be done brewing by tomorrow.
Okay, I tell him I can't pay for them, but Firo can.
He says very good. Furo always pays his debts. I'm just kidding.
But tell me, yeah, we're gonna need a bunch of those. I'm just preparing you ahead of time. Then just want to go back to the tavern.
Okay. So as Jeff gets back to the tavern, Adeline also joins, and yeah, it's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and the whole party is here. So if you guys want to talk about what you're going to be doing, I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Y'all can continue and roleplay and stuff.
Alright, so Shadow thinks we should leave.
Oh, just leave everyone to their own devices and.
No, of course not. Had to make this joke.
I say we rest up as best we can, get all the supplies we can, and then burst down into the sewers and kill the fuck out of everyone.
Okay.
Gonna put that in the maybe pile.
Yeah.
You obviously weren't there.
Shadow likes your confidence.
Yeah, we like the vote of confidence, but we almost died. I almost went down one in 2 hits from those spiders, and Dario almost died 4 different occasions.
Yes.
Okay, so who can we get to help us?
I mean, we're still getting the Martillos and the Caceros men. And
They are currently working, set up traps. These spiders appear to be weak to fire.
yes,
See,
they're
that's good to
afraid.
know.
I wasn't there for this, but I look over to Oswald and shout everyone else. Could we somehow block the entrance to the caves, or like you said, set up traps?
Well,
I
I'm
imagine
sure
they are-
Amelia is powerful enough to cause explosion or something.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a cave, is it not?
Yeah, to
Oh,
cave
you
in,
mean like bring
block
it
it
down?
off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like a cave-in.
That could work.
They already are working on that. However, I still advise them to set up traps in case they figure out a way to burrow out and still make their way into the city.
True.
Because we have a undead army on the way to worry about in addition to the spiders coming from below.
Okay.
Oh
I
dear.
talked to Theo about that earlier. He said that maybe I suggested they would most likely be coming from the north, so maybe we could evacuate people to some towns around here.
The
East.
Martillos said there are ports to the east that the commoners can go to.
Yeah, Fiora mentioned that as harbor towns near us. Okay.
So we warn everybody and evacuate as much as possible. Stock up on our fire spells.
Is that we need to minimize casualties, or they will simply become part of the undead army should anyone fall.
Okay.
Are the undead and the spiders being led by the same leader?
No. Actually, well, kind of. The spiders have a spider queen, kind of. And the undead have other women with no clothes on.
The Gex.
It appears
yes.
there's
Nigex.
some. It appears one of her doctors is the one that is leading the army.
Strange
One
how
of her-
doctors
one
in
of
an
her
army.
Scientists. So
Oh yeah, Bone Zone.
each faction has their own individuals in charge, but they are all working for or with Nigex.
Okay. Is there any way to possibly turn the armies against each other?
More than likely not,
no.
since
Probably not. They seem to be very.
The spider's like a
tandem?
hive mind complex. Like it's not gonna turn.
it's
Got it.
when we were in the cavern, Nigex appeared and spoke to the Spider Queen. So they apparently have made a deal already, and the spiders themselves are going to follow the Queen's order.
Okay.
Oh, and there's like this portal thing that they were
tell
using.
us about the portal.
Oh, that was a teleportation circle that we saw down there. That's how Nigex appeared under the city. When I talked to Firo earlier, he mentioned that in the time of Nigex, the city we're on right now is New Cragstorm, and the old city was the original capital. So she probably has ancient teleportation networks throughout her kingdom that she's reactivating.
So we should get on those before she has too many.
The only problem is, the hordes of spiders between us and them. But yeah. And we don't know how they're powered.
Minor problem.
Yeah.
Do we know any exterminators?
You know
we have
Orkin?
us.
Also kidding. You
Fucking.
To call him up real fast.
Pest
He's gonna
control
charge
fee
extra.
for- yeah, about to say they're pretty big spiders. Gonna cost a lot.
Hey, go lay down. Crate.
Oh, by the way, did Amiria say how long the whistle would be tuned to her?
She didn't, but more than likely until you want her to unattune it.
Alright, well...
Which you would have probably asked when you last saw her, so she could have done that if you wanted to have it go back to Siege.
Well, I will want to go back to Siege, but that's not something I would have probably thought about at that moment.
Do I still have a whistle that goes to Siege?
You do.
Did Oswald did he verbally say this out loud? If not, like I would not
believe
know.
So. No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't said anything yet. Though Oswald is about to say, but I'm going to go to the Grand Wizard to speak, so I can communicate to Siege. Perhaps ask him for advice on how to deal with the undead, since he is currently dealing with them right now.
Why do you need to go to Amelia to talk to Siege?
My whistle is currently attuned to her.
And I think back and I'm like, you mean like one of these? I pull out the whistle I had.
Yes, one of those.
Do you just want to use this one, or?
Is that one attuned Siege?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Then we can use that one.
Yeah, just I hand it to him, to Oswald.
Okay.
Now, are these whistles, are they like kind of like signature, like he knows who sent it? Or is it just generic message being sent?
Yeah, it's like just a letter. So if you don't put a signature on it, he would have to assume who it's from. Because like the message will go to whoever the whistle's attuned to, but it doesn't like tell the receiver who sent it until.
Right, well, yeah, at that point I would just sign my name on the parchment. But
okay.
I'm gonna go walk outside with that whistle and blow it.
Alright. Okay. So you blow it, and unlike this morning, it's almost instant that you see the light orb fly and then turn into a celestial-looking owl, and it comes down and lands on you, and it has a blank scroll ready for you to write your message.
Alright, the message I'm gonna write, basically, how's your situation still going? Also, the army plans to attack Crackstorm next. How do you have any advice on how to deal with them? And that'll be the message.
Okay. So you write that, doesn't take you too long. Just roll it up, throw it in. The owl hoos and then flies up into the air, turns into that globe of light, and then darts towards the northeast, towards Siege's fortress. As you're waiting, it takes about 10 minutes or so before you get a response. Is anyone doing anything, or are we pretty much at the end point?
Shadow's fucking with people by sending messages into their heads.
Okay.
I did is Vera around?
No.
Is the wife here?
No.
I want to cast. I want to go up to my room and cast Identify.
Okay, so
on two things: the card and an amulet.
Yeah, card and amulet. So we'll get to that in a second. 10 minutes pass by as Oswald's waiting, sort of cleaning his armor as best he can outside. And then the owl comes back with a scroll. As you open it up, Siege says, yeah, earlier this morning, for whatever reason, all the undead left, and they pretty much left. Any remaining soldiers are pretty much insane for whatever reason. They see us as nightmares. They don't see us for who we actually are. We're currently gathering them up to try to save them from whatever has happened to them. Other than that, the corpses of my soldiers have been reanimated and now bolster the ranks of Negex's army. And we didn't see exactly how they left, but we know that they went south. Other than that, it seems that none of the undead can attack from range. They're all pretty much melee, so the more you can take out from range, the easier it will be to take them out. Other than that, I've got nothing. Siege.
Alright, I'm assuming I could write a message back real quick if I need to.
Correct.
I'll write a response then. Since the army is heading this way, I know you are not in the best situation, but would you be able to send some help? If need be, might be able to have Emiria teleport back and forth. And that'll be the message.
Okay. So while that message is going through, Jeffrey, which item would you have done, the amulet or the card first?
The card first.
Okay. So the card, I'll have to type it all out because this is a picture that I have of it. Actually, I wonder if I can just put it onto the thing. Ooh, here it comes. That's the card.
Can you make it slightly bigger?
Yeah.
Or
You could zoom in.
yeah, I'm doing both. I was trying not to zoom in too much, but yeah, that works.
But yeah, that's the card.
The Joker.
So it draws stuff. It makes a deck.
Yeah, it makes a deck of playing cards, and when you draw the card, that determines what damage it does.
To a target.
Correct.
Okay. I write this down?
Yeah, I'll leave it, I can actually just send you the file, like the picture itself, but that's the gist of what it does.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll send you that file, and then I'll make a handout for it since it's a picture. That way, whoever you give it to, they can just look at the handout and be able to copy and paste it to their page whenever they get access to it.
Okay.
That'll probably be the easiest way.
Then do the same thing with the amulet. Identify.
So yeah, you cast Identify on that. Let me send that. Alright, you should have that photo. It is a gold amulet with the little onyx gemstone that's in the center. And what you get is, while you're attuned to this amulet, you get a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls.
Okay. I'm gonna put that on.
Alright.
And
yeah, attunement takes a long rest, I believe.
Okay. I'm gonna think down to everybody. I'm gonna take a little nap. Just tell me if anyone arrives. Because I am a bit tired. I'm not sure when everyone's gonna get here.
Oh, it's a short rest, so only an hour.
Okay. And I'll attune myself if nothing happens between now and someone else getting here.
It shouldn't, so. Alright, Oswald, as you're waiting there, another message comes through, and Siege says, I can try to send some help, but more than likely the undead will get there before help can arrive. I will reach out to other members of Bellowlight that are closer and have them come to aid Cragstorm. Emiria could teleport, but I need to try to spare as little as I can to rebuild Siege.
All right, I won't respond to that.
Okay.
So that'll be it for the whistle.
All right. So before we close tonight's session, is there any final RP moments or any clarifications that anyone needs?
I'll let the team know that, or I tell the team that I sent my fellow tribesmen back up the north to give the sample to my circle for review and seeing if there's an antidote that can be created for it.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, we will go ahead and close tonight's session. So I'm going to go end my stream. I'll be right back. All right. Appreciate everyone coming out. Hopefully you had a good old time. And until next time, peace.